Sierra Nevada Torpedo IPA,
Nice.
made in California. Welcome, guys, to episode number 37 of Reezy Talks. Today, we have Ralli Roots, aka the real names, Ryan and Alli Roots. How are you guys doing?
Good.
We're doing great.
We're doing really good.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us, Ben.
Dude, thanks for coming on the show. I'm so psyched. You guys are super positive and super inspiring. Like, you guys are always happy. I like watching your guys' videos. I mean, yeah, it's funny. Like, I'm sure you're not always happy or whatever, but the world only gets to see what you want them to see. You know, people always tell me, they're like, Reezy, you're an amazing dad, and I'm like, yo, don't forget, you only get to see what I want you to see. You know, I'm not gonna make a video of me yelling at my kids. You know what I mean? So
movie magic.
It is movie magic, but we're all good people, anyways. But yeah, you guys are eBay sellers, right?
Yeah, we sell on
eBay
primarily
eBay and Amazon.
Yeah. So I would say about 50% of our business comes from eBay, and then 25% from Amazon, and then another 25% wholesaling to people.
Yeah.
Wholesaling directly to people or
to other resellers. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't know that. I know you guys have I see you shipping out like coffee machines and stuff.
So many coffee machines. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we do buy in bulk as well. And then a lot of that stuff, if we buy a bunch of stuff, we'll break it up into smaller lots and sell it to other resellers, as long as they can make a good margin still. And we, obviously for us, that's less money. We get less margin on it. We make more money if we sell it individually, but it's quicker flips, So we still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I call it the turn and burn.
Yeah, the turn and burn.
Turn and burn, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. I imagine a coffee machine is not like a $3 investment. So
no, they're not a cheap.
And the margin's probably not that big, anyways. But right? What is it like? 30%, 20%?
Yeah, it depends on the item. If we're wholesaling it out, usually we'll make about 20% net. If we're buying in bulk and then selling individually, it's more like a 50% net.
That's good.
So it's pretty.
That's actually pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
No, that's huge. Most wholesalers that I talk to are like right around 30%.
Yeah, I know. And some of the big guys are very happy if they get 10%.
Nice. Let me go over to the chat real quick and see what we got going on over here. We got a couple of the admins in here. We got the Thriftologist. We got Kim from the OC Thrift Shop. We got Aussie Oscar says hi from Chicago.
Oh, I was thinking Australia.
Aussie Oscar, yeah. Johnny Swag, Mother's Mustache. I just love saying. I'm assuming that's a girl. I don't know. Mother's Mustache. Could just be a mustache with a YouTube account, I guess.
Monica's in the chat.
Monica.
Hey, what up, Monica?
Hey, Monica.
She needs to do more YouTube.
Monica's so pretty, and she's so successful, and she's
awesome.
Very sweet, and I can tell that she's extremely intelligent. So
her channel would blow up overnight.
Yeah. No, it would, right? Let's spend the whole episode shaming her into making a YouTube.
Yeah, Monica, that would be super cool.
Dude, I told her, I don't know if you guys saw any of the episodes. I think I've done it a few times, but you know how she really likes sports, so I always tell her, I was like, dude, you need to do the PHSN, like ESPN, but PHSN, Posh Hanger Sports Network, and then. Like once a week, she could like recap. I went as far as like taking the ESPN font and making her little logo, but once a week, she could like recap all the sports that happened in the last week.
Yeah, that would be. Like, she could charge a paid subscription for that. People would.
Yeah, it would do good because like for one, she's awesome, and for two, she's like a super strong, opinionated. Like she'll argue with you to death, and she'll actually know what she's talking about in sports, which is not, the typical sports is mostly ran by guys or whatever. So like she's got a lot of angles going on there, and I feel like it would do super good.
Yeah, do it, Monica.
Come on.
Right? Or even just like her I even told her, I was like, okay, you're not going to do YouTube, so just take your Instagram stories and save them and put those on YouTube. Like generally most people would be like, oh, you're just uploading Instagram stories, but her Instagram stories are fire. Like,
yeah, they are
better than a lot of people's YouTube videos. So hopefully she's saving them. Maybe she'll figure out how to upload them someday. I don't know. How long have you guys been resellers? Like, let's talk about when it all started. How did it start? How'd you get into it?
You want
I
me
know
to answer that?
you have an internet background, Ryan, but I don't know too much about you, Alli.
I do. Yeah.
You know what? No, I want to.
You want to take that
I
one?
want to take just a little bit of that one. So I think that. Oh, sorry, my phone was vibrating really loud. Let me put that on silent. Ryan decided from watching a couple of TV shows that he really, really wanted to get into reselling because he didn't want to do. You were selling like services, and you wanted to get into a physical product,
right?
And you were looking around the house, and you said, "Oh, I could get into reselling. I could turn this into like a hobby, and then maybe a career. What can I sell around the house?" And he took one of my mugs. My cupcake mug, it was a cupcake mug and it had a little like cupcake on the handle. I mean, it was an excellent mug and it was worth like $20 with sold comps. And he's like, "Do you mind if I sell your mug?" And I was like, "That's a present for my grandmother. I kind of don't want you to sell it, but okay, fine, you can sell it." You know, I got a lot of use out of it and I knew I was going to eventually just break it anyways. So I let him sell it and he sold it and it was a lot of fun. And that's where it really started with my cupcake
so funny.
mug.
I always forget that part of it.
Every time. That's why I was like, I have to start this story because Ryan sold my cupcake mug.
That's
and
so
everyone
funny.
needs to know he sold my cupcake mug.
I'm
And I
so
let him.
sorry.
You bastard, Ryan.
Right?
Did I replace it at all?
Nope.
Oh man.
But you do other things for me that are really sweet, so it's okay.
That's
We better
so
see
funny.
a cupcake mug in the future.
Yeah.
With a cupcake on it. It has to have a little cupcake on the handle.
Fair enough.
If you guys are watching this and you come across an amazing cupcake mug, holler at your boy.
Yes, that's right.
It'd be so funny if someone was the person that bought that cupcake mug.
Send the same one back.
Cupcake. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's
man.
so funny. But yeah, no, my background
How long
is
ago was that?
that was probably 3 years ago. About
So that
3
was
years
the first
ago.
thing you sold on eBay.
No, I sold on eBay when I was 14 years old. That was my first like dive into eBay.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Awesome.
We're both 29.
Yeah. So I actually, the first thing I sold was an ebook when you could sell ebooks on eBay. When I was 14 years old, I sold a little book pamphlet thing that my dad wrote on how to get out of your timeshare because he was in the timeshare industry. And I sold it on eBay without him knowing. And I was making like between like $1,000 and $1,500 a month selling his book on eBay.
That's savage.
Savage.
Yeah. You can't sell ebooks at all anymore on eBay?
I don't believe you can. You have to actually physically deliver the product.
Because I remember that was a huge. So I imagine maybe you can still print them out and sell them like just bounded paper or whatever. But I remember that was a huge hustle, and I never really got into it. I figured it out like a little bit late, where people were selling public domain.
Oh,
you know, they would go and look up books that were like free public domain, and then put them on eBay. And most people didn't know they were free, so they were paying like $8 for it.
Yeah, it was a cool gig because you could just email the file over to the person. So it was an instant shipping basically, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's how I started, and then stopped doing that, and did school and all that stuff. And then my past businesses were in internet marketing. So I've had 2 successful SEO companies, which is search engine optimization for people who don't know. One in America that we sold, and then one in Australia that we also sold. And then I had a social media management company. And that was the last thing that I did personally before we started reselling. And we've been reselling full time for two years. In January, it'll be 2 years.
Nice.
So not that long.
Do you want to share any of your numbers? I don't know. Do you guys share those?
Yeah, for
We've
what?
shared a lot of numbers on Instagram. I'm trying to think like particular.
Like overall for reselling?
Like just like like what was your last month? Just something to give people an idea of what level you're at.
Yeah, so we on average will net around 20K a month after expenses and everything. So last year we did just over 300,000, and then we're tracking a little bit better. This Q4 has been slightly slow for us, which is weird.
Very slow.
But I think it'll pick back up here coming up.
Must be all those damn YouTube resellers.
Right?
Stop giving away all that information for free.
Oh my gosh.
But no, we try to do about 200K net a year is what we try to bring in.
Awesome. And you work out of your house? You have a warehouse? You have employees? How's that?
Yeah, we have a warehouse and we have one full-time employee. So our warehouse is It's about 1,450 square feet. And we rent it, we don't own it. And the important thing about getting a warehouse, we didn't get a warehouse until we were doing $10,000 a month already. So we could cover all of our expenses, and we had money left over before we even started looking to expand out of our home. So we ran everything from our house, a spare bedroom, and our garage for a long time before we decided to go into.
And we decided we wanted to scale because we couldn't scale out of our house. So
right, because you can't. It makes it a lot harder. Like, who are you going to hire that you trust to work out of your house? It's a lot different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that too, and just like the mass amount of stuff coming in and out, and sometimes items are dirty. You don't really want that stuff in your house, but you know that you could turn around and get quite a profit on it. Like we bought storage units at one point, and we couldn't bring those in our own house or in our garage. I mean, we needed that space for our own stuff. We have a gym in the garage, so.
Nice. Yeah. You can tell because Ryan's got his guns out all the time.
Always. Sun's out, guns out. It's Florida, guys.
Right.
Tank top life.
So Florida is like the fabled mecca of thrifting and reselling. Is this true?
Yes.
There's so many. I feel like one out of 3 people is a reseller out here.
In the thrift stores, yeah. At least 50% of people in the thrift stores are resellers.
It's crazy. I mean, like I think we have a pretty small YouTube channel. I think we're at like 17,000 or something like that. We run into other resellers that have seen us from YouTube daily. When like almost every time we're at a thrift store, someone will come up to us and be
like every other time. Ryan's over exaggerating.
Okay, a little bit. But
that's
still,
what makes him a good storyteller, though.
Yeah,
right? It's weird though to think that like our tiny little channel and all of the resellers in the world, right? Or in the world,
yeah.
And our tiny little area, and we run into people. It's a strange thing. So
yeah, it still blows my mind away when I'll be like scanning something in like Toys R Us, and I'll just hear Reezy, and then like someone will come. I'm like, your Reezy resells, or like. Last time I went to the bins, I was digging in some books and some shoes and whatnot, and I just hear Reezy resells in the building, and I look up and I'm like, who the hell said that? And I didn't know they didn't come up and talk to me or anything. Yeah. Like, okay, like so that was kind of weird.
That's awesome. I need to check the chat.
I'm trying to look at the chat too. We got Side Hustle Pros in the chat. What's up, guys? What's going on? They're awesome. That's another couple hustle fam.
Awesome. Yeah. So how long have you guys been married?
We've been married for...
It'll be 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years in December. And then we've been together for almost 10 years. Yeah. So we actually went to high school together, but we weren't friends. So
at one point we were friends, then we weren't.
We kind of ran with different crews in high school.
Ryan was obviously with the nerdy crew, and I was with the athletic crew.
Exactly.
Clearly, you can tell.
Ryan was in the nerdy crew.
No, it was opposite of that. Alli was like a band girl, and I was a wrestler.
Played 3
My daughter's a band girl. It's awesome. She plays clarinet.
That's what I started on, clarinet.
I wish I could play an instrument. I can't play any instrument.
I mean, your ability to just everything, it makes you smarter to play a musical instrument.
I agree.
It's true. My wife is going to college to be a music teacher, and she started playing viola in 4th grade. And now, at least in California, a lot of the schools don't have music anymore, and so that's her passion, is to bring it back to the school system, especially to underprivileged kids, because she, it changed her life, so she wants other kids to have that option or whatever. And studies definitely show, you make those connections in your brain when you play music.
100%. That's true.
So apparently you like Dragon Ball Z.
We love Dragon Ball Z.
Can you tell?
So you guys both ended up being nerds then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's great to aspire to some type of level of fitness. And Goku, I aspire to at least beat Krillin.
We're big nerds at heart. We love to go to like Comic-Cons, and we go to all that stuff, and
we just went to the medieval fair.
Yeah,
that was lots of fun.
Oh no, yeah, you guys did. I gotta watch that video still. Ryan looked like a legit Peter Pan.
No, Alli did.
I was Peter Pan. Ryan was...
I just had like a...
Yeah, you were just chilling.
Yeah, I was like a peasant.
Yeah, you're a very peasant. Ryan was actually Tinkerbell, everybody.
The one episode, what is it? The one episode where Goku is like, I forget, it's like a way back, but he's like training in like a bazillion gravity.
Yep.
And he like accidentally hits turns the gravity up too high. So then he's like stuck to the floor for like 3 episodes.
Yes.
And then he starts then he finally like starts killing it. Yeah, I love Dragon Ball too. I got to check out the new series you guys were saying about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm watching all the original Dragon Ball. I've already seen all of Dragon Ball Z. I can't watch that again because I've already seen them like twice, and you know how many episodes that was. That'd take like a whole year to rewatch them, and
you
then I'll
watch
go
it on
into
like
Dragon
2X.
Ball GT.
Watch it on 2X. That's a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah, no, back in the day in high school, this was like before the internet really and YouTube. I mean, it wasn't pre-internet, but it was pre like YouTube and whatnot, and the information access just wasn't there yet. But I had a friend that went to Mexico on vacation, and he comes back and he's like, dude, come over to my house. And I'm like, what? And he's like, Dragon Ball Z. And I'm like, okay. And he got like boxes of VHS tapes in there. It's Mexican Dragon Ball Z. Yep. But with English subtitles, and it was like totally bootleg. Like these episodes hadn't came out in America yet.
That's awesome.
Yep, Dragon Ball Z came out in South America before it was dubbed in America.
Yeah.
Right, because I remember I'd be getting out of high school, and then the episode would be over. And my best friend Scotty, who's actually my business partner now, he is smarter than me, and he had his VCR like set to record it. So when I found that out, you know, I was like, dude, where does he keep going right after school? And so then I found that out. It was like he was ashamed to tell anybody. Then we would go to his house and watch the episode after school.
Yes, that's so funny. That's so funny because we're pretty young, but we can still say like there's certain things that generations under us will never experience, like recording stuff off your VCR. Is one of them, or having to like run home from school to catch the episode on TV.
Yeah,
I used to do that.
Yeah, in elementary school it was all day. Like if I didn't run home from school, I would miss like I forget if it was Spider-Man or X-Men or Batman. And all those 3 of those series are legit as hell.
Nice.
But some of them came, you know, you get out of school like 2:30, and one of them's at like 3, and if you like walk home slowly, you're gonna miss it. You got to run.
You gotta run home.
Someone goes VCRs. Those are worth money now. They are worth money now.
No, they are. True. Bolo on VCRs, if you guys don't know, especially if it's a DVD, a VCR to DVD recorder, those are worth extra money. That's right. And even if it's not a recorder for DVD, if it's just a dual VCR, and even just VCRs by themselves. So the way that you prep those is you get a big ass roll of bubble wrap, and you bubble wrap the crap out of it. And make sure you have the remote with it. If you don't have the remote, when you source it, don't trip. You can usually get them off of eBay, which is also why you can sell remotes for like $20. So that's like 2 bolos in one. You find a remote. Like seriously, guys, you find a box full of remotes for like $1 each. Most of those are probably going to be worth like $20. Wow. There's a recipe to it, but you'll figure it out.
That's one of my favorite things to buy at garage sales. You know, that like electronics box just full of random stuff that you can get for $5.
Ryan always offers.
Yeah.
Hey, will you take $5 for this whole box? And everyone's
so
like,
good.
yes.
It's so good. You can like throw more stuff in the box too, and then be like, hey, how much for this box?
And I like it, the psychology of it. Like you don't say it in an excited way, like how much for this box? And no, it's just like how much for this, like parentheses, super crappy box. Like
yep.
How much for this box? You have to drop your shoulders to get the good price.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. And you know those people, they just dump stuff in the box and they're like, hopefully we get anything for it, because they're just gonna donate it anyway. So they'll take any amount for it.
Yeah. So I was gonna say about the VCRs. Let me finish that thought real quick. So grab remotes off of eBay if you don't have it, because depending on if you're selling on Amazon, you have to have the remote. If you're selling on eBay, you can do whatever you want, but you'll have a little bit higher sell price and a more happy customer if you include the remote. Make sure you also find the manual. You can Google it, ease of information access, and then print that out, and then include that with your thing. Bubble wrap the crap out of it, and make sure it's taped shut, and then put the FBA logo label on the outside of the bubble wrap, tape it on, and then just put it in the box like it was anything else. What do we got over here? Let's see.
Callie's in the chat.
Callie. Let's talk about, that's your employee, right?
Yeah.
What kind of tasks does she do?
Everything.
Yeah, we make her do everything.
Callie's
Even make her
a
eat weird Canadian snacks.
that's right.
We do. This is a fact.
She honestly is like the glue of our business right now. Like pretty much anything that we need help with, Callie will do. And it's really cool because Callie's a friend of ours, which is really nice because we can trust her with everything. And she started working with us kind of part-time. When we would go on vacation, she would handle our store for us. Which was a great way to kind of get into reselling. And then we would take her out to garage sales and show her the ropes of how we buy stuff and sell stuff. And then finally, when we decided to bring Callie on full time, there was almost no training curve. You know, she was right in there and she knew exactly what we needed and what to do. So Callie handles almost everything on eBay for us. So she does all of our pictures, she does listing, she does shipping. She
Are you
pretty
still
much handles
the listings, or does she just list it?
No, so she'll put it into drafts and then we'll review and then throw it up there. Only because
Ryan sets the prices.
Yeah.
Callie and I both make all the listings. Well,
Yeah.
Callie makes like
Yeah.
80% of the listings and I do 20%
Yeah.
of the listings, maybe.
And that's the only reason why they even go into drafts is because I'm picky with pricing. So I'll be the one who sets the prices.
And we can list so much faster if we don't have to figure out a price.
Yeah.
So we could just like make tons of listings and Ryan just pops them open, makes a price.
That's
boom.
a good point to illustrate, because both Nicole and Monica, who are the other two eBay sellers that I've interviewed so far, they both said that people spend way too much time doing research for items. So that both of them were like, yeah, you got to understand you have to understand your market at some point, and then also just be okay with whatever price you're going to get. And then and Nicole said it best. She was like, the more time, if you spend 7 minutes on every listing trying to make an extra $3, like what the hell is that? You could have listed 3 things in those 7 minutes,
Right.
So
that is a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the name of the game in reselling is burning the product, right? You don't want to have your money tied up in product. You want to get it in and turn it as fast as you possibly can so that you can take the profit and put it into more inventory. That is how you scale. So the quicker you can turn inventory, the better. If you're, and that's why we put best offer on everything on eBay, because if we get an offer that is good, we'll take the offer and move on. Being greedy on eBay is a lot of people's downfall.
Rarely ever are we greedy or picky about how much we want to sell a particular item for. And it's usually if we know it's just so rare, we just don't want to let go of it. Like that Harley Davidson jacket that we sold. We sat on that for probably a year, but it was worth it.
Certain things it's fine to sit on if you have the space and the time to sit on it, but
people just kept lowballing us too on it anyways. It's not like we got one that was like, oh, that's tempting, so we just sat on it.
You have to understand the difference between like a commodity item like a shirt or a pair of pants, or something that's really rare like that jacket that you're talking about, whereas like the person that wants that is going to pay what they're going to pay. And if you take one of those lowball offers, you're probably actually going to end up just selling it to someone who's going to hold out for a higher price anyways.
Right.
So it's like I sell a lot of yearbooks on eBay. So I price yearbooks, right? I don't know if you guys know, yearbooks are worth money. So almost any yearbook, but not the newest of new ones, because anything that's like around 10 years old or less, usually Jostens has like a digital copy of it. And so they can like reprint it on command. You can just reorder it from them or whatever. But stuff older than that, obviously the older, the better. At some point when it gets too old, it actually drops in price. And my theory around that is that the people that want to buy it aren't alive anymore.
Oh,
so there's that.
That definitely
but the thing is that the person who wants it. So it's like you could sell it for $25 or $100.
Right.
It's just about waiting for that person that wants it, because they're the person that wants it. And that's like a tip for eBay sellers or for book sellers. I probably sold books for 5 years before I realized that you could sell. I'd be like, yearbook crap, just throw them, and they're literally like $25 to $100 bills depending on which one you have. And here's another pro tip about yearbooks: take the look up the high school on Wikipedia and see who the notable alumni are that went to that high school, and see what year they went to that high school, and see if they're in the copy of the yearbook that you have. Because if you have a yearbook that has a famous person in it, it's worth a lot.
A lot.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have even thought to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So you can sell, you know, the $25 yearbook for $100, the $100 yearbook for like $300. You know, if you happen to have Harrison Ford in it or something like that.
Or like Brad Pitt's yearbook.
That's interesting.
For some reason, Harrison Ford is the first person that came to mind.
It's so funny.
You probably run into a lot more of that stuff being out in California. Right.
Yeah, I would imagine, just because there's a lot of famous people that come from California. I mean, people come from everywhere, but California has a lot for some reason.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of parents that want their children to be famous will move to California.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense. So, like, with that thought in mind, probably like Southern California high schools are more likely to have famous alumni in them.
Yeah.
And it's not just actors too. It's just it's anybody, you know. You could find like Neil Armstrong or like famous astronaut. I don't know, Donald Trump. You know, who knows? Like anybody. But I want to look that up right now. The yearbook with Donald Trump in it. What is that going for?
Oh, it's got to be like a really prestigious school. His parents are loaded.
Where did he go? To Trump University.
Trump U. Yeah, let's not get political, but yeah, so what I learned about that with the yearbooks too is that the high school ones are worth more than the college ones, and also if the elementary yearbooks are not worth very much at all.
Yeah, I would think elementary is a totally different.
Terry Berry came
with the super chat. Thank you, Terry Berry.
Hey Terry, we got to hang out with Terry.
Terry is super cool.
Yeah,
$2, and I'm gonna buy Ryan a beer someday.
A $2 beer, awesome.
$2 beer. You get a Pabst, Ryan.
You can have Natty Ice or Pabst. Great.
Natty Ice. Yeah, you can tell Ryan's cool. He said Natty Ice.
There you go.
Oh no.
Get that 5.9 in your blood.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, I used to drink that stuff in high school. Like get a whole case for like $12.
We don't even have 40s in Florida. You guys at least have 40s out there.
There's no 40s? There's no 40s in Florida?
32s are the biggest you can get.
You guys don't have any of these?
No.
No 40s? I'm going to send you guys 2 of these though.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you guys some. I just broke even on the water bottles. I purchased 120 of them to sell, and I have 46 left, and like that was just my break even point. I gave away like 5, so technically I'm like 5 away from breaking even, but I'm comfortable to start giving away some more.
It's cool, man. I mean, the branded stuff like that is more about just getting the product out there. It's so cool.
Yeah.
We got a picture of someone wearing our shirts at the top of Pikes Peak the other day.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
If anyone can ever go to Colorado and do Pikes Peak, it's so incredible. It's amazing. Did you do Pikes Peak?
I've never been to Pikes Peak.
Oh, we should go.
Yeah.
We should go. I loved it.
We should make a video series of resellers, like crazy resellers outdoors.
Yeah, I'm for it.
No, I'm down. It'd be sick. We get it like a group of like 5 or 10 people together, and it would be like reality TV for like a week.
That would be cool.
Ooh, that would be really cool. We want to get bikes and go on the bike trails, because we have bike trails by us, and they're legitimate, nationally ranked, very
mountain bike trails.
Yeah, well, like they're prestigious. I don't know, and they have.
I feel like you two should be on Amazing Race. Is that what it's called?
Dude,
Amazing Race?
Yeah, so many people have told us to go sign up for that show. We should do it. I would love that. You wouldn't like it? As long as Allison handled the directions, I think we'd be okay.
No, it'd be good. It's just like because there's like, you know, they do these things where it's like different problems, you know, so it's like, oh, you need strength for this, and then like this one's like some crazy riddle memorization thing, you know, like go get all these keys and see which one fits in the lock and like memorize this stuff or whatever. Like
I think we would win.
I never watch Amazing Race. I never get into reality TV shows like that.
Right.
At all.
It's hard to get into TV, period, like let alone reality TV, when all you have to do is pull your phone out and make it yourself.
Nice. I know. It's just I don't have time to watch TV anymore. If it's gonna be something I'm watching, it's probably gonna be like Dragon Ball.
So in the chat, one of our moderators, Aim, she went on eBay and looked it up. 1968 Trump yearbook, $300.
Wow, there you go.
What?
This is money.
Oh, and then she's like, one sold for 500. Military yearbook,
Whoa, I
500.
see that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, there's probably a lot of resellers or booksellers even. And you know, if you're watching this and you're a bookseller and you didn't know your books were worth money before you watch this, please put a comment down below, because you were like me, where you used to just throw them over your shoulder. Like, see you later, yearbook. Like, here's another, like literally before I knew yearbooks were worth money, one time I had opportunity to buy a whole gaylord of yearbooks at an auction, and it was starting at $5. And no one bid on it. They probably just threw it away. I was like, forget this. Who wants yearbooks?
That's crazy.
And then, you know, it could have been a Donald Trump $500 yearbook.
Oh, could have.
Right. And also people want, there's companies. So this is another little story. I found out after a while that I got a couple repeat buys from the same buyer on eBay for a yearbook. And then that person reached out to me, and then they started emailing me like outside of eBay, totally against the rules or whatever. But we made a little business relationship, and it turns out that they worked for classmates.com.
Oh.
I think that's what it's called, classmates.com, or some type of like history type stuff. I forget what it's called. But anyway, so they have a thing on their website where it's like when you know, it's like a subscription based thing or whatever, and you can go back and see your high school. You know, you don't have your yearbook, but they have the picture. And then they were, I think, actually selling reprinted copies of yearbooks to people. I don't know, like, I think it's a weird gray area. Like, if the high school didn't like have it copyrighted or something, it's not copyrighted. I'm not sure about that, but they needed to buy a lot of copies of yearbooks because they would buy one and it would be drawn all over. So they would have the clean pages, and then they would need another copy to get, you know, other pages that were clean and like stitch it all together to where they had a clean copy. And so I ended up selling, you know, I would get yearbooks and I would just email them a list, and then he'd go, oh, I'll buy these, I'll buy that one. And he had like a fixed price, which was, you know, $25 for this year, for 20 years old, 50 for this one or whatever. And it was less than I could get selling on eBay, but it was a quick turn and burn, you know? So it's like,
turn and burn.
would I rather sell it for $75 and wait a year to sell all of these, or sell them all right now for $40 each, you know? Right. So I got them for $1. I'm not trying to be greedy, you know?
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, that's a really, really good point. It goes back to that turn and burn thing. I mean, that's a big part of our business too. And a really big part that a lot of people don't know that you can also do is, a lot of the times, or especially when we first started selling as well, we weren't doing a lot on Amazon. And most of the things that we were getting, we were gated on Amazon anyway. So we weren't allowed to sell it. We were restricted. So what we did is we put those items on eBay, and the same thing happened where we were getting Amazon sellers flipping our items from eBay to Amazon. So doing online arbitrage from eBay to Amazon. And we reached out to those people, and those became some of our biggest clients, where if we got stuff that we were restricted on Amazon, we would lot it up and sell it to Amazon resellers. So we made a lot of money doing it that way. And, you know, doing it that way, you don't have to wait for the items to get to the Amazon warehouse.
What is the process for that? So you would send them a message on eBay? Yeah.
So usually what would happen with that is that they would buy something from us on eBay, or let's say we got a whole bunch of one item. We would list that item on eBay with a quantity of whatever it was, 100. And if we saw 1 or 2 sales coming through, then we wouldn't do anything. If somebody made an offer on, you know, 10, 20 units plus, then we would sell it to them first. So the transaction would happen on eBay. Once the transaction happens, you get that person's information. And then again, against eBay's policies, but we would sometimes reach out to those people and say, hey, if we can get you more of this item, can we do the transaction, you know, face to face?
Right. I'm not such a rule follower myself. I don't really read fine print. I like to just like get the job done and just like not be a bad person and then worry about the rest later. But
forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah, exactly. I know you're not supposed to contact people to do transactions outside of eBay, but what are the rules on eBay as far as what you can put in your packages when you mail them to people? I know you can put like thank you cards. Can you put other advertisements? Like,
I'm pretty sure you can. We don't do anything like that.
Yeah, we've never done anything besides a thank you card.
Yeah, I've bought stuff on eBay before, and then there'll be a card in there saying 20% off from our online store, directing people to their online store. I'm sure there's something in eBay's policies that's against that.
I've gotten that a ton of times whenever we've ordered stuff on eBay where people say, Yeah, if you order from us, you get like this percentage off, but
Right.
we've never done that
No.
before.
Right, and
It's
that's
just
fully
after we've
against
had a transaction.
Amazon is like super against that.
Yeah.
But what happens is if you make your own product, obviously you can put whatever you want in the packaging. You know, like when you buy a TV, you open the box, there's like all kinds of coupons, and there's like a HBO and a Netflix coupon in the box. You know, they're actually making money selling those coupons to other people or whatever. But yeah, then you can direct people to your website. But I always thought that'd be a cool, you know, because it's just the whole eggs in one basket thing or whatever, where if you could say, hey, next time check out my actual website, you know, rallyroots.com/shop, and then you could pick it up for, you know, 10% off, and you'd still be making 5% more or whatever, eBay fees, PayPal fees. What is the eBay fees exactly?
10%, and then we get a discount if you're a top rated seller of what are we getting, 10% off of the total fees, something like that.
I think
and then PayPal takes like 2.5%,
2.9% on PayPal, so it's about 13%, and then plus shipping. And then now that eBay's done the promoted listings, same way that Amazon kind of does it, but way worse. It's not as good as Amazon. But now you can promote your listing up to whatever amount you want. So
are you guys promoting your listings?
Yeah, we've been using it. It's hit or miss. I think they're still working with it because it's a pretty new thing. But I would say on average, when we promote a listing, we're paying another 7% on top. So we're at a 30%.
Are you promoting it and selling it for a higher price or no?
No.
Yeah.
No.
eBay is great and they pay the bills, and it's wonderful that something like eBay exists, but there's a lot of things eBay could fix.
Yeah.
Right. I really like eBay myself. Like outside of my business with my business partner, I sell on eBay. So when I come across stuff that we're restricted and we can't sell on Amazon, or random stuff, you know, like used stuff or whatever, I'll sell that on eBay myself. I actually just broke 1,000 for my last 60 days for the first time in like 10 plus years or whatever. So it's like my new baby eBay store or whatever. But I always tell people that like I started on eBay and I really love the thrill of the hunt. Like you feel like an archaeologist literally when you're like going through that box, or you're like, you know, you're looking for this random thing, and then you like something tells you you should look that thing up, you know, and that thing that's inside of you that tells you to look that up, that's skill. That's like value inside your head that like it's Amazon is not like that, at least the way I do it. You know, it's just like scan stuff and it tells you like, oh, cool, a $20 book for $1, or even if it's like $50, it's like it's just money. So it's not the money issue, it's the fun issue. Like it's so much more fun to like be out and finding random stuff.
I do feel like a modern day treasure hunter. I don't know how many other people would agree with that. I think most would, but you feel like you're hunting for buried treasure.
It's a thrill.
And it is.
Yeah,
it's literally buried in a pile of stuff at a garage sale or a thrift store.
Exactly.
You know?
And it is. I mean, it's the thrill of the hunt. You know, we could sit back and just order wholesale all day long, but it's no fun. That's just, to me, that's just another job. And we didn't start doing this to just have another job. We want it to be fun. So if we can go out and hunt and find cool stuff, and then, you know, move that stuff on, instead of it going to a landfill, it goes to someone who appreciates it. That's the coolest thing about what we do, I think. And then also,
I do love recycling. That to me is like,
it's
I grew up
amazing.
with a hippie mom, so knowing that we can recycle anything is just amazing. You know?
We get to recycle stuff that people don't want to people who do want it and make money doing it. And then we get to travel as much as we want. It really is an amazing thing, guys. I know that we kind of, if you watch our YouTube channel, it looks like we have this crazy, amazing life. And it is a lot of fun. Obviously we have our ups and downs just like anybody else, but I would say 90+% of the time, that is how our lives are. We are super happy and grateful to be able to do what we do.
I go happy or angry, but happy. I never am sad or
happy, hangry.
But happy, I get very
hangry.
Happy. Who doesn't get
hangry? Damn cupcake mug. That's your problem. It's really cool being a reseller too. Sometimes it's a curse, like because you know what you can get stuff for secondhand, and like you find stuff like, I don't know if any of the stuff in your background that I can see right now came from thrifting or yard selling, like maybe that little telescope thingy.
$10.
No? The telescope, yeah, it was $10 at a garage.
It's a light. Yep, it's.
Okay,
I looked up the brand. It's from American Signature, and I think it was originally $179.99.
Yeah.
Right. So like all that cool stuff that you get to find stuff for cheap. Like I'm sitting in my office chair right now, and I bought it for like $80 off of Amazon or whatever, and it hurt my soul like so bad because like I know it's the type of thing that I can get for $5 at the Goodwill, but I like needed a chair, and I looked like every day for a week, and I didn't find. You know how it goes, guys. Like if you're looking for a certain thing, you can never find it.
Yes.
At least that's what I found. And then like you buy the chair off Amazon full price, and then you see 3 the next day for $5.
And you just want to stab yourself in the foot, like your office chair. We got it at Salvation Army.
Oh, that was such a good find.
Oh, leather, so nice. It even has, all of the
That was like a $700 chair easy. And we got it for $35.
Such a good deal on it.
Yeah, it's like a curse though. I mean, it's obviously a blessing, but it's also a curse sometimes because you're like you'll hold out on stuff because you're like, no, like I'll find one. Like it's ridiculous. I've seen some of the decorations you guys have in your house, I think, in some of the different pictures. A lot of that stuff is from, or almost all of it, probably from garage sales, right?
It's a mixture of traveling and garage sales.
Yeah, most of it's from travels.
A few of the things are left.
You have like some antique-y stuff, right?
We try to, like, whenever we go somewhere new, we try to buy 1 or 2 cool souvenirs from wherever we are.
And we try to typically buy something that is wood carved from a tree by a local artisan.
Yeah.
A tree fell down and some local dude was like, hey, I'm going to carve up this tree. And then they take the tree and they carve it into something really awesome. And we even have coconut masks from when we went to Bali, when we lived in Australia. Bali was the closest destination place. So in Bali, a lot of the people, it was really affordable to chop up coconuts and carve them into masks. And we bought a lot of hand-painted coconut carved masks.
So when we were talking about hangry, Natalie B says, you guys don't keep snacks in your fanny packs?
My fanny pack game is lacking because I always forget to grab the snacks when we leave the house.
We do.
Isn't it amazing how you could be like not hungry, but then like you leave and you're like, dude, I just need like 3 chips, just like anything right now.
It is for sure.
Oh man, we need to put snacks in the fanny packs.
Should we answer this one? Sincere Hernandez says, I have a vintage leather jacket and it's in like new condition. It's really heavy. What would be your best advice to ship it?
FedEx Smart Post?
Yeah, probably. I would say wrap it up in like tissue paper or brown paper and then put it in a regular brown box and ship it FedEx. FedEx Smart Post is probably going to be the cheapest way. And that's the place you're shipping it to is pretty close. And then I would ship it priority, USPS priority. But
yeah, because usually when you fold leather, you don't want like the leather folded on the leather. You want to kind of cushion it with tissue paper,
nice
not
box.
bubble wrap, because you don't want plastic against leather. So tissue paper is the safest bet.
Yeah.
We're just assuming that doesn't fit in a large flat rate box.
I doubt it would. Seeing like a heavy leather jacket, I doubt it would fit in a large flat rate. Yeah.
Ask Callie. Callie knows.
And honestly, even that, like a large flat rate is what, $16, something like that. FedEx Smart Post, depending on where it's going, is going to be cheaper, probably $12, $13. It takes longer to get there, but
can you print FedEx from eBay also?
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Nice.
And then
I didn't know that.
You can print through PayPal.
Yeah, even if you sell something on eBay and you want to print it, you don't want to print it post office, you don't want to print it FedEx, you want to print it UPS. If you go to PayPal and click on that transaction, you can still print UPS and it will still send the tracking number to eBay.
We've done that multiple
Didn't know
times.
that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I when I sell, let's see, what was it that I sold? I forget what it was. I don't remember what it was, but I had to I think it was people that paid me for water bottles or for something that they chose like friends and family to avoid the charge or whatever. Because I was it's for some t-shirts I sold. I was like $20 if you choose friends and family, or $23 if you choose goods and services. And so then I realized I was like, oh crap, when they choose friends and family, I don't get a like print a label option, And then I forget exactly how you do it in PayPal, but there's just a way to print a shipping label straight out of PayPal when you don't even have an order or a transaction related to
Call us. We'll help you.
It's actually kind of hard to find. I don't know what the exact link is, but if you Google PayPal Shipping Center and you click on there's a forum feed, click on that feed, and then in that forum there's a link. If you click on that,
dude, that's exactly how I found it. I literally bookmarked this forum link. And so now when I go to my browser, I just type like PayPal space shipping, and it like opens that link for me. And then it's like someone going like, dude, how do I do this? And someone else was like, it's this link right here. Click on it. And I click on it and it opens PayPal, and it's like ready to put address and.
Exactly. It's amazing, the power of forums.
Yeah, and that way you can ship UPS as well. The funny thing about that though is shipping through PayPal that way, there's no regional A priority box option.
Huh.
Yeah, which is strange. You have to ship it either flat rate or regular priority. Yeah.
I don't even know about the regional. What's the regional? Is it a different kind of rate?
Yeah, regional A there's regional A and regional B. Regional A for us it usually costs about $8.15. And it's a smaller kind of, there's two different sizes. There's a little rectangular box and then there's a flat one. But that's the cheapest way for us to ship. We'll either ship we ship first class if we can, if it's under £1. And then we'll go the flat rate envelopes, and then the padded flat rate envelope. And then we'll go to regional A, because from padded flat rate, it jumps from whatever, $6.90, I think, to regional A, which for us averages about $8.15. And then after that, it goes into your like medium flat rates. But usually once it goes past that, we'll put it in a FedEx box because it's cheaper.
And somebody asked us if we ever resold when we were in Australia. We did not, but I wish we had.
Yeah,
I bet we would have done well.
Not unless you count like buying a car and then selling it when we left. But no, we didn't.
That was 5 years
Someone
ago.
wanted to know, the thriftologist wanted to know, do you get fast and free on your posting with Smart Post?
No.
So that's only when you do priority?
Yeah, priority, or I think we get it on first class as well if we put first class in. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I'd have to check the listings, but
first class is a beautiful thing.
I love shipping stuff first class. It's great.
So let's talk a little bit about the SEO or the social media stuff. How does that pertain to what you're doing nowadays?
Oh.
I think it
makes you better at what you're doing now for sure.
Yeah. I think the cool part for me especially is that I went from having a company managing hundreds of other companies' social media and SEO, so handling their websites and Google, getting them ranked on Google, and going from that to doing it for us, for one company, has been amazing for me because I can focus all of my energy and knowledge into doing it for us. Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've been able to grow so quickly in the reselling world. You know, we've only been on YouTube for a year, and our account is one of the best, not best, but it's one of the higher subscriber ones on YouTube. Same with Instagram, you know, so it's using the knowledge that I have from my past businesses on our business.
You scaled our accounts very quickly.
Yeah.
And Reezy still has
yeah.
more.
So I've been almost been on YouTube for 2 years, and I have 22, a little over 22, and you guys have 17. Yeah. Which is like really good. Like I actually really like your videos, and I'm not gonna lie, I was on Social Blade today checking your stats, and I was like, damn, dude, these guys are getting like the same amount of subs a day that I'm getting, like really consistent, like, you know, like 50, 75, like 25 a day is like a low number for you.
But don't ever forget, Reezy, who was your 20,000?
That's right.
It's Alli.
Alli.
No, I had 19,999 subscribers. And these guys messaged me, and they're like, look, I pressed the button, and then boom, it was like the before and after, 19,999 and 20,000.
That's true.
I'll never forget that. I went to watch one of your videos, and I saw that, and I was like, I'm not subscribed? What? That's weird. And then I saw it was 90,999. I was like, oh my God, Ryan, film this. Yes. I freaked out. I was so excited.
Dude, it's all about supporting each other, right? Like, in the grand scheme of things, we're like super small, like in the resale world, you know, and
we're babies. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the resale world, you might say it's like, oh, one of the bigger accounts or whatever. Like really, like there's not a lot of people, you know, there's probably only about 40,000 people that are in the resale community, like sphere of things.
Right.
And I think Nicole is probably like the biggest YouTube account. I don't know how many subs she has because she's hiding it right now, but I want to say it's you know 27, I don't know, close to 30 or whatever.
It's probably a very big
I know
number.
Hunter is a huge account.
Yeah, Craig's yeah, see, Pete probably is the largest YouTuber reseller, and he's been doing it for a really long time.
Yeah.
I love his channel because it's basically like Pawn Stars kind of.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of. It's
Yeah.
the crazy Russian Pawn Star.
Pete seems like a pretty cool guy. We haven't met him, but he seems like a pretty cool
Just
guy.
Monica needs to have her YouTube and it'll blow up and we'll all be so sad because our channels will be so tiny and Monica's will have like 100,000 overnight.
Really?
Yeah, but the reality of it is that if you want your channel to grow really big, I don't think it's going to grow big just by doing reselling stuff.
No.
You know what I mean? Like there's a limited amount of people that want to watch that stuff. And it's honestly, it's boring after a while. Like I don't watch too much stuff. Like your guys' videos are some of the only ones that I watch because they're fun.
I agree with that. And I think that's one of the reasons why our channel grew quick as well, is because we're kind of doing something different from a lot of other reselling channels out there. And I agree with you. Our channel, we don't want our channel to be 100% about reselling, which is why we put out vlogs like the medieval fair vlog that we did that has nothing to do with reselling, but it's a fun vlog so that people can see. Our channel is buy, sell, travel. That's what our channel is all about. We buy stuff.
Yeah, it's you guys.
People is traveling.
Yeah.
And then, it was really funny. A lot of people kept asking us questions like, hey, why don't you show us, you getting ready in the morning? And then whenever I decorate for Christmas, everybody wants me to make, an episode about that. And people kept requesting and asking for us to make episodes about different unique things that had nothing to do with reselling.
Right.
And we thought, maybe we really should make episodes and vlogs about other things that we're doing day to day, because everyone wanted to know, like, what's your process whenever you wake up to when you go to bed? And we didn't think anyone wanted to see that. And people kept asking for it. So we were like, all right, well, let's just give it to them.
Someone brought up, they called us out on it. They're like, Paul Cantu, 433,000.
All right.
Okay, I love Paul Cantu.
So I don't know.
Honestly, I could watch like an hour and a half of Paul Cantu and probably be like, oh, that was only feel like 15 minutes or whatever. Like literally, it's like he'll have like a 12-minute video. I'll watch the whole thing and it will go by really fast.
That's funny.
But I don't feel like, he's so much of he's an entertainer. He's not, I mean, obviously he is a reseller. That's how he makes money, besides like his advertised contracts or, he has his own shop. People are bringing him stuff. He's selling that on his shop, like it's consignment, etc. or whatever. But like at heart, he's an entertainer. He's not like really telling people how to make money. He'll make a video like repairing some shoes, but his goal is not to show you how to repair the shoes as much as it is to make you laugh,
Right.
Oh,
he does resell though. I mean, he does have a website where he resells his stuff, but yeah, I mean, I think that, I don't know, he does have a whole lot of subs, but I think that is definitely like a particular niche kind of entertainer that you want to watch. It's definitely not my style. I like the Casey Neistat type vlogs. I don't like the whole nothing against Paul Cantu, but
no, I love Paul Cantu. Awesome. He's awesome. But I'm with you on the Casey style stuff. Those are the only types of vlogs that I really like to watch. So I like to be entertained. I like the editing to be nice. I like there to be some kind of like thought behind the idea, or just like straight up like on a journey with people or whatever.
Right.
I guess I don't have too much free time. So before I go to bed at night, if I watch anything, now that we don't have HGTV anymore because we got rid of cable, because that used to be the only thing I would watch is like DIY Network and HGTV. I watch gameplay for computer games that I don't have time to play, and I'll just fall asleep to that. Or, I don't know, I started watching other people's crafting vlogs. If I don't even have time to craft, I need to get like a little bit of crafting in. But yeah, I don't watch I don't watch any TV, and I don't watch any other resellers too often because I just don't have enough time to just sit down and watch something.
I really like I like Eric, the college picker. His vlogs are really good.
Eric is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
That's one of the only other resellers that I watch. Is good.
Eric who?
College picker. The college picker.
Okay.
Yeah, because he mixes he mixes in a lot of like day-to-day stuff as well.
He's in California now, isn't he?
Yeah. We just met up with him as well. He came out here and hang out with us for a little bit, but he's a cool guy. He's cool.
Someone said they need an update on Ryan's wedding ring.
Oh, look,
Oh my gosh.
I still don't have it on, guys.
Ryan yelled at me and told me I needed to make an appointment with the jeweler. And I was like, since when was I supposed to make an appointment? So I put in her Amazon cart the silicone rings.
Yeah, so I'm getting, do you have yours on? The silicone ring?
No, I took a shower. That's why my hair is wet, because I went for a run. So I always take my ring off before I shower.
I'm getting my ring fixed. It will be fixed soon. Yeah. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get a silicone one so that I don't smash my other one again.
Lose the stones.
Right.
Oh,
that was scary.
that was one of the more stressful moments of the year.
What happened? How did you break your ring, or what happened? You almost break your finger or something?
No. There's black sapphires like all together on top of my ring, and it's all grid. Yeah, it's like a grid. It's all one piece. And when we're at a thrift store, that piece fell out, like all of the stones.
It's just not soldered in any longer.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that it had fallen out until we were at the next thrift store that we were at. And I looked at my hand and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my crazy. So we ran back to the thrift store, and then Allison found it on the ground at that other thrift store. She actually found the stones.
So now you got to get it reset.
I just got to get it resoldered. Like, it's just a little metal thing. You pop it back in and then they resolder it. But it's scary.
Definitely don't want to lose that thing.
Someone would have got a really nice gift at that thrift store if they'd found that
on the ground.
Oh man.
Reseller's dream.
Jesus. Yeah, like, oh, I got this stinky shirt and some used shoes, and then I found this ring on the ground for free.
Exactly.
Yeah, just all the stones in a rectangle. They would have been like, what is this?
I don't know, but I'm taking it to the jeweler.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm gonna call Jacob the jeweler up, see what this is.
Oh my goodness.
So let's do you have any specific tips for people as far as, like, so we were talking about the SEO and the social media stuff, and I wanted to just illustrate or like highlight one thing we said about how you added a new twist to it. You didn't want to be like everybody else in reselling, which is also kind of like how I like to do it as well, because I know what I like, and I know that when I surveyed the field or whatever of other reseller YouTubers, I was like, dude, I can't watch 5 minutes of this. This is literally the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. And so I was like, I'm not going to be boring. That was like the main thing I told myself. I was like, I'm not going to be boring. I'm going to show what I want to show, and then, like, use my talents, video editing or whatever, and just make it fun, maybe throw in some family or whatever. But I know that is a key to success on YouTube and social media. If you want to succeed in a niche, you have to bring something new to the table. You have to innovate. You need a remix. You need to take something that works from something else and then bring it in and like combine it with that niche so that you stand out, because otherwise you're just going to be, reseller number 3, reseller number 4.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And then the only other thing I would add to that is if you're really wanting to blow up on social media and get yourself out there, have an actual passion, and don't just do it to try to get like ad revenue or money. Try to do it to actually benefit somebody else, especially in the reselling game. You know what I mean? You want to actually put out good information for people. Don't just make it entertainment, but actually put out like good information that people can take and then use that to benefit themselves and their family. I think that's really the biggest thing for us with even doing YouTube. The only reason why we still do YouTube is because we get notes and letters from people saying,
and messages and Instagram posts
saying,
like
I used this tip, I made some money, I'm getting out of debt, I've paid off my college debt, I can pay for my car note. You know what I mean?
It's the craziest thing ever.
The amount of amazingness that people have accomplished just because they felt inspired by what we were doing. And that's the only reason I even agreed to start doing the YouTube with Ryan, because at first I wasn't into it, and then he showed me a nice message from somebody, and then I was in a few videos and they said, hey, you guys have inspired me. And after a couple of messages like that, I decided, even if we only change a couple of people's lives in even the span of a year, I would just be happy knowing that we've helped a couple of people, because we don't really have time to like.
It's so awesome that you can change the world, right? Like using social media. And it's like, I always thought you could and was told that as a kid, even though, they'll say, hey, you can change the world, kid, but they like won't tell you how to do it. And I guess we didn't have the internet back then, and then now, like, how obvious it is to me how you can do it, because we're doing it, and it just blows my mind. And like full circle even like catches me off guard sometimes. I'll help people and then they'll be like, okay, they're successful, and then like a few months go by and now they're like hitting me up and teaching me stuff. You know, they're like, Reezy, did you know about this? And I'm like, no, I didn't. Like, oh my God, like you're teaching me, like this is amazing. You know, like if like I know people that they quit their 9 to 5 because of my YouTube channel or because of my Snapchat. And now they are like more successful than I am in several different areas and teaching me stuff. They're like, Reezy, you need to get on this. Like, you need to do this. And I'm like, dude, like, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, consistently learning in this game is so important. Like staying on top of things. And then I love it. Sometimes we'll make a YouTube video and we'll say something and we'll ask people for advice or ask them on, you know, and there's people who know so much about certain things and we'll get comments saying, you know, this is this type of item, you should ask this amount of money for it. So we're still like consistently trying to learn from other resellers and other people as well.
We only know like 0.001% of the pie of all the things and knowledge that there is to know.
Yeah.
So Chaz is in the chat, Side Hustle Pros. You guys know Chaz?
Chaz and Trista, yeah.
They're the
he said, he was like, isn't it funny how us YouTubers are the ones who really don't watch YouTube?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's the truth, dude. Every YouTuber I know, right? Like, and I know YouTubers like in real life, not just like people that I met on the internet or whatever. They don't watch anybody's videos. They live their life and they make videos, and like you could be their best friend, they're not going to watch your video. They don't have time for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. When you're creating content, sometimes it's hard to find time to watch other videos, but you know, you want to watch certain type of videos. So like the ones that I like to watch too are the ones that are edited really nice, and I like to look for new editing techniques. So I'll watch people's vlogs and try to look and be like, oh, whoa, I didn't think you could do that. So
and then Ryan tells me he wants, you know, that new $10,000 camera. And I'm like, well.
Yeah. So I'm so sad when I'll watch a vlog. Who's that? What's that one guy's name? John Olson. John Olson. Have you ever seen his vlogs?
I gotta write that down.
Olson. Yeah, John Olson is like vlog goals. And I looked up, I was like, man, how do we make vlogs like this? And then I looked up his equipment and he's using all like Lakai cameras and lenses and like crazy.
When you see his equipment, you're just like,
it's like, oh, this dude's
like I lost my breath for a moment. I thought I was about to die from suffocation.
Yeah, it's crazy how much difference a certain lens makes on a shot, you know?
It is.
Like a lot of people think it's the camera, but really it's the lens most of the time that gives the film that really great look. Or like I was watching a tutorial that Sarah Dietschy has on her channel. Do you know who that is?
No.
Sarah Dietschy, she blew up on YouTube a while back. She made a video like how to vlog like Casey. And then people thought she was making fun of Casey, so they brought it to Casey's attention, and then he like put it in his vlog and he was like, she's not making fun of me. Gotcha. And then like he collabed with her or whatever, and like she blew up. She was nominated for Vlogger of the Year for the Shorty Awards or whatever.
Cool.
And in her editing too, she'll do like live editing on YouTube, or so like content on content essentially. But she has like her own style, and she'll have like a whole layer of film grain that she overlays over her entire vlog. Like, you know, just like the super subtle thing. And it's like most people would be like, why did you do that? You have like super really good quality, and then you put this grain. It's just like it's her style, you know? Like
yeah, it's a style. And it does, guys, for people that watch YouTube, if you guys really like the vlogs and the content that we put out, please like let us know, because it actually does take a lot of work to make these vlogs. You know, sitting here doing the live stuff it's hard to like sit here for an hour and talk, right? But doing the vlogs and editing it out, I know I was talking to you, Reezy, you said like sometimes you spend 10 hours plus editing a vlog out. And I'm the same, like I'm super picky. So for me, it takes anywhere between like 2 to 4 or 5 hours sometimes to actually sit down and edit a vlog out. And we don't make money doing that. And
I suffer for it because I'm not a good cook, and I don't cook, and I don't like cooking. And Ryan hasn't been making dinner. And I've been suffering for everyone on YouTube because Ryan hasn't been cooking, and I go hungry.
And do you generally get less views on your vlogs than on your informational videos or on your lives?
It's been getting better and better. I mean, the videos, I would say the videos that we get the least amount of views on are like our travel vlogs, because those are the ones that are the most fun for us to make.
Yeah, see, I don't understand why are people like anti-travel vlog? I like watching. I never went anywhere as a kid. Like nowadays, I get to go places. Like this year, I traveled more than I ever traveled my entire life combined. And I made those videos. I made them for me, right, so that I can remember like my trip, right?
Yes.
And they get like literally like it's like this is my best work ever. 900 views.
Right?
And like
but
even
like
a couple people will be like, "Oh, I like this." Like I felt like I was in New York City with you, Reezy, and I was like, "Cool, that's it. I did it." Like that's all that matters to me.
Those are, like you said, those are for you. Those are vlogs that you can go back and you can relive that moment again.
It's true. I did feel like I relived the moment whenever we watch our Iceland vlog or just any of our travel vlogs. But that's the coolest thing too, is that it brings all the best parts of your trip and your journey in one little quick video. And it's like you can relive all the most amazing parts, and it makes traveling like so go and exciting. Whereas, whenever you're traveling, there's a lot of downtime in between doing all the activities. But a vlog is like all of it
at once.
Bam, at once. Like boom, boom, boom. So that's always what I've loved about rewatching the vlogs, is all the downtime is gone. It's just all the best parts.
And that's a good thing to point out, right? Like, because I'm the same way. I'll rewatch my own vlogs, or like if I'm around like my friends or something, like I'll like, hey, let's just throw on one of my vlogs or something, like I'm proud of them. I will never be like rewatch a lot. Like I will never rewatch this video. I will never watch this again. As soon as this is over, I'll never like run downstairs and be like, hey babe, check out the live stream we just did.
Yes.
Like it's just not, you know what I mean? It's not I mean, I like doing them and I appreciate the, providing the content for everyone, like, and getting to know the people that I'm doing the lives with or whatever, but it's just different. It's not the kind of entertainment that I like. I don't know how to explain it properly.
I agree with that. I watch gameplay, so yep. I get it.
Everybody wants to know about when you almost got arrested, Ryan. Let's tell them the story.
Oh God, go watch the video.
That's a true story. It happened. We were both there.
Yeah.
The guy stole Beats from Verizon. He smashed the window in. That's why they have the pull down metal grates, because this guy literally, they said he took a brick or a large rock, threw it through the window, and he was wearing like a big hoodie and big baggy pants, and came in, and he was only in there for like maybe 2 minutes. And in his hoodie, he filled it with all the headphones and then busted out of there and hopped in his friend's car or whatever it was. And then they drove off in 2 minutes. So that's why they have the grates that roll down. Because I always wondered, like, what's the point of those?
Yeah.
But yeah,
but
that's the point.
It was back when we were super naive and like very young resellers, basically, like just getting involved in the game. And we bought a deal that was too good to be true, not thinking anything of it. And I mean, the short end of the story is we had one pair of headphones left, and we put them on Craigslist. We went to meet the person to sell it to them at the mall, right? And that person ended up being a cop. And an undercover detective. This is a true story, guys. They literally swarmed us like a drug sting at the mall in front of everybody at the food court, and like sat us down and basically interrogated us in the mall. It's a 100% true
Somebody
story.
even said in the comments that they swear they saw us that day and that happening in the mall, and they remember it because it was such a crazy thing.
Yeah.
So I don't remember who that person was, but they can verify that this is legitimate and true.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I mean, and it's funny because that video of me literally just sitting there telling that story.
Yeah, it's a story. It's a story time, right? It's not like, because I actually went and watched it one day. Like I was like, fuck, how did Ryan get 500,000 views on this video? I got to go watch this. Like, literally, I watched it for research, right? And so I watched it, and then I was like, holy shit, it's a story time. He recorded it in 10 minutes, and then I think, like, you even recorded the video, like, 6 months to a year after it happened, right?
Yeah, it was, like 9 months or something like that after it happened.
Okay, yeah, so I was like, whoa, like, that even blew me away even more, because I'm like, okay, you got 500,000 views. The level of effort put into the content was not a lot.
Nope.
But you got 500,000 views. So how did it happen? How did it happen, Ryan?
I think a lot of it had to do with the drama. People are attracted to drama. So the title of it is "We Almost Got Arrested: A Reseller Horror Story" or something like that.
Right.
So obviously,
the thumbnail looks like you're gonna pull your hair out.
Yeah, it's very clickbaity. And that was the idea of it. We wanted to. It was one of the first videos that we put on our YouTube channel.
No, not we. You told me that you're gonna make that video, and I was like, ugh. I was so disgusted.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was not a fun experience at all. I wish it didn't happen. But we want to
we confiscated the headphones, rightfully so.
Yeah.
If anybody's wondering.
The point of that video was honestly not to get views. The point of the video was just to kind of help people realize to be careful out there while you're buying stuff and do your research. If it's too good to be true, obviously it is, which we found out the hard way. But
so is there anything with your SEO background that tells you why that video got 500,000 views? Because obviously that's far outside of the sphere of resellers. That's about 400,000 more resellers views.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very easy thing. The reason it got so many views is because of the shares. It got shared so many times. So people
Did you growth hack the shares, or did you just get organically shared?
Completely organic.
I'm just reading the chat. It's really funny.
I like that. So yeah, so we just keyword tagged it. We made the title really clickbaity, and then we put it out there and it got shared. Honestly, it was very organic the way that video got out there.
That's awesome.
Someone said, "Cook me a good dinner," Michael.
I will.
Michael says, "Cook Alli a good dinner." Cook me a good dinner, Ryan.
Yes.
So yeah, so a lot of this stuff is, like if for succeeding on social media and YouTube or whatever, there is like thought processes that go into it. If you just think that you're going to make a video and post it and then post and pray, like that's not a good strategy. You know what I mean? You need to strategize around it, try something different, maybe do some growth hacking. Title and thumbnail are probably the most important, like more important than the video itself is the title and the thumbnail, I swear. Because if you don't get someone to click on it, it doesn't even exist.
Right. And then being consistent afterwards as well.
Yeah, of course, because the algorithm favors people that have consistency.
Right. Then there's a lot of like YouTube channels with videos with millions of views and they only have a couple thousand subscribers. And even us, I mean, we have a video with almost 500,000 views and we only have 17,000 subscribers. It's because that's the only video that is that type of content on our channel.
Do you happen to know how many subs you picked up from that video?
I don't. Is there a way to find out in that? No,
yeah,
I don't think there is.
Yeah, I think there is actually. You can check it out, but maybe not on YouTube, or maybe on you. I don't know. You have to maybe use a third-party analytics thing to check it out. So when I made this video, I actually lifted all the tags off of that video, and put them in this video, including I made the title of that video one of the tags in this video.
Nice, that's funny.
So hopefully, if I did my homework properly, this video will come up on the sidebar of that video when people watch it.
Interesting.
I'm just gonna show Ryan this chat right now.
Yeah, it's a hashtag feed Alli.
Oh my gosh, get out of here, guys.
Anytime anyone ever cooks, please
so
tag us
is
on
Ryan
Instagram.
Is Ryan a good cook?
I am a good cook.
Very good cook. Everybody needs to comment on every meal that they prep.
That's
hashtag
so
feed Alli.
I actually really like to cook. I cooked dinner tonight.
I marinated the chicken.
That's true.
I'm very proud of myself for marinating chicken.
This hashtag is trending in the chat right now. For sure.
So Chaz says in the analytics view, cross-check the week of the video upload versus the subs gained that week.
Okay, I will. I honestly don't think that our subs gained would have been that much from that video. I honestly don't think so.
No, it's funny. You could have, that's how the internet works. You could have 500,000 people end up on your thing and then not even click subscribe. It's just really weird. It's like Gary Vee shouts me out on Twitter and then people are messaging me like, dude, you're going to blow up. You're going to blow the hell up. I got like 12 new Twitter followers. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just how the internet works. You know what I mean? Exactly. It's not always like, it's so much different than like, okay, if I was on an episode on Ask Gary Vee or something, that's a whole different ballpark. That could like launch your whole career or whatever. Right. That could launch a new app from like unknown to like being successful or whatever. Sure. But someone just giving you a shout out, it's not as big as people think it is.
No.
Let's see, what do we got in here?
This might just all be hashtag feed Alli.
It's all feed Alli.
It is. Yeah, I actually don't know how to cook at all because I've been married since I was 15. So like when I got married when I was 15 and living on my own, like my wife was there and she was cooking and she
That's
makes
a
amazing
crazy
Mexican
story.
food. And so
Mexican food.
like
I love Mexican.
yeah, dude, we used to eat like before we had any money, we used to eat stuff that just like came out of a box and that has instructions on the box. I could make that stuff. But that doesn't count. Like, so if I have to make anything, it's like I'll make breakfast. Like that's my go-to. I'll make like pancakes and eggs and bacon or
That's so
something.
funny.
But
I can make pancakes and eggs. That's about it. I can't cook bacon.
See, what's funny is
At
that
all.
I will cook and we're pretty healthy while we're together, like during the week and stuff. If Allison leaves, I go completely bachelor. Like I will only eat Stouffer's mac and cheese, Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and like Guinness.
Ryan goes dark road.
Yeah, it's
He's
bad,
like the Dark
dude.
Knight.
Yeah, like if
It's
if you ever left me, I would be 300 pounds like in a week.
Ryan will text
Oh
me,
my
I'm only
God.
eating Stouffer's, Ben and Jerry's,
Yeah.
Talenti's were BOGO, so I bought
It's
those.
bad, dude.
And those are a gelato. They're at our Publix.
So
and
bad.
yeah, cookies. If they're BOGO, you'll buy those.
It's not a good time.
Oh,
Dude,
chips.
a funny Ben and Jerry's story is that when Rosa was pregnant, Rosa loves ice cream too, my wife. When she was pregnant with Luna, there was a deal at the grocery store on Ben and Jerry's. I want to say it was like $3 a container, but then there was a grocery store coupon for $1 off, making it $2.
What?
And then
I would have bought a freezer just for that
no,
deal.
listen, it gets even better. So at the time I was doing extreme couponing. It was before the show came out and ruined it for everybody.
I always
And
wanted
so
to do that.
I had a hookup on coupons. Like next to the bins was the paper recycling place, and they would take the newspapers there and they would let me go and pull all the coupon inserts out. And so I was actually doing a coupon clipping business for a while. And through selling coupons on eBay, I realized you could buy coupons. So then my mind started working. And so when I seen the deal on the ice cream, I went and looked on eBay for coupons. And so for 5 cents each, I was able to get $1 off Ben and Jerry's coupons from eBay. And so I got like 150 of them. And so that made it $1 a container. And I literally bought like 100. I bought like we literally took everything out of the freezer, like even all the drawers and everything, and like threw away like anything that wasn't ice cream and just packed it in there. Like so much Chunky Monkey, so much Cherry Garcia.
I'm so proud of you.
Dude, dude, Chunky Monkey is my favorite. Cherry Garcia is my second favorite.
So funny.
But there's so many flavors that are good, and I just remember that like I tried every flavor on the whole mix, and like what the thing that really sucked for Rosa is she was pregnant, and she said that the smell of ice cream made her want to throw up, even though she loves ice cream. So I was like, I felt bad for her, but at the same time, I was like, more for me. And like, so I had two brothers that live with me, and they'd be like, "Can I get an ice cream?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, for $3." And so like every day for like months, I would come home and there'd just be like a bunch of $1 bills clipped to the refrigerator. That's because they ate some ice cream. And I shit you not, for like 2 weeks straight, I ate 2 Ben and Jerry's a night. Like I was to my head, just 2 whole I was getting fat.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, and it happened like slowly over time. So it was like, oh, I'm gonna eat a third of it. Oh, I'll eat a half of it. And then like when you eat a half, you're like, I'm almost at the bottom. So then you finish it. Then I was eating 2.
Ryan left a little bit of one of the Talenti's in there clear so you can see what's left. And there was a third of it left in there. And I got home and I looked through it, the freezer, because I was going to say, oh, maybe I'll defrost meat for Ryan, hopefully to cook tomorrow. And I was like, why is there ice cream left? And I was like, hey, Ryan, why are you feeling okay? Is everything all right? Are you sick or what's wrong? And you said you left it for me. And I was like, no, really, are you okay? No, but you did. You left it for me and I ate it.
I go hard on some ice cream sometimes.
Yeah. Dude, ice cream is so good. I don't know why it's so good. It's amazing. But it easily gives me the gnarliest stomach ache if I eat too much. Like especially for before bedtime, you eat it like right after dinner and then you go to bed. Worst stomach ache ever.
Yep. I've been there. You never get a stomach ache from eating ice cream.
No, I'm good.
No.
Natalie B says you're not supposed to finish the pint, like triple question mark. Like what? Have I been doing it wrong?
That's why it's the perfect size to eat for one person. Because you're supposed to finish the whole thing. You're not supposed to share. Pints don't say shareable on them.
No.
Definitely not. They don't. I wonder what it says the serving size is though on a Ben and
4.
Jerry's. 4?
Yeah.
That's
I
an
think it just says
outrageous
Ryan
lie.
next to the serving size.
I feel like that's the biggest scam of the century. They just put more serving sizes so that like it looks like it's more healthy as far as like whatever the things the intake is.
Trust me, I know, because I've calculated like how many daily calorie intake, what my daily calorie intake is, and if I could afford to just eat that as a meal instead of eating, you know, real food. And I think like a regular pint of Ben and Jerry's it's like 1,400 calories or something like that. It's a lot. It's a lot. 1,200, 1,400 calories or something.
Yeah, I don't know anything about counting calories or whatever. I literally just started gaining weight. Like I'm not even like gaining weight, but like up until this point in my life, 33 years old, I couldn't possibly gain any weight. Now I like, you know, like my pants are like, well, these are feeling a little tight here. Like I got to slow down on the food or start exercising more.
You got to keep skating.
Yeah, dude. Got to definitely skate more. I've been trying to put skateboarding into my vlogs slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, someone was asking back here, how did I get married when I was 15? So I lived in Kansas at the time. I got shipped off to Kansas, which is where I met my wife. So it was like meant to be. I'm from California. But there's a thing called like common law marriage or whatever. And it's from back in the day when people were colonizing the United States and they were moving west. And there wasn't churches everywhere. So like you could live somewhere and like have your bride, but be waiting years for like a church to be built and a pastor to come along and marry you. So they made this law where basically the law says if the public believes you to be husband and wife, you are husband and wife. So like if you declare to the public that you're husband and wife, you are husband and wife. So as simple as like writing it on a piece of paper and having witnesses sign it would make you husband and wife. And most states changed it, but all these states in the middle of the United States didn't change it, and they still haven't changed it. So like Kansas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, North Dakota, South Dakota, all these like middle of the mall states, they you know, you could be, what is it, like girls have to be 14, guys have to be 15, you don't need parent consent, and you're legally emancipated by signing a piece of paper. So I did that when I was 15. My wife was pregnant and our parents were not jiving at all. My wife's family is Catholic. And so we did what we had to did because we had a kid. Then I dropped out of high school, started working full time, etc. But crazy times, crazy to think now that been married for like 17 years, been married longer than we haven't been married, which is pretty crazy.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Super duper crazy. Let's see.
So you just have 2 kids.
Oh yeah, just 2. What's funny is that my kids are 12 years apart. So my older daughter is 17 and then Luna is 5. And so on the Chinese calendar, they're both dragons because it's a 12-year cycle.
Oh.
We're dragons.
We're dragons. Yes.
Double dragons.
That's why we have the Shenron.
And you guys are dragons too. So that means you guys are, wait.
We're 88.
Oh yeah, 29, right?
Yeah.
28, 29-ish.
And I'm actually
that's super cool. So you guys are literally double dragons.
We're double dragons.
Double dragons. It makes sense that we would love Dragon Ball Z.
It does.
You guys need to get a double dragon tattoo.
It's our destiny.
I may be getting a Dragon Ball Z tattoo on the 20th.
I really wanted to get like
full disclosure. I may or may not be getting.
I don't know if I'm getting.
I legit need a Dragon Ball Z tattoo as well. Just like, what are you gonna get? Like Shenron wrapping around your arm or something?
No, I think I'm gonna get the like a Goku silhouette with the Dragon Ball, like the 5.
4 Dragon Ball.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, probably 4. Right here on my chest.
Any significance with the 4 Dragon Ball?
4 Dragon Ball.
What's that?
I could tell everybody this story.
Of the 4 Dragon Ball.
What's the significance?
Okay, so whenever Goku was a kid in Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, so the original Dragon Ball that came out, I think in like 88 or 89. And then it was subbed in America a little bit later than that. But so in the early 90s, Goku's grandfather, Gohan, whenever he found him, he had the number 4 Dragon Ball. And then Goku, spoiler alert, he has his tail. Whenever there's a full moon, if he looks at the moon, he turns into the big, the big creature.
Ape.
The big ape. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a big creature. I don't know what they've actually properly labeled it. I don't
Saiyan
remember. Yeah, the Saiyan ape. And he killed his grandfather Gohan, but he doesn't know because he grew up in the woods and he's like secluded and he doesn't know what a lot of things are, like a telephone and a computer and whatnot. But anyway, so he kills him, and then Bulma is with the Dragon Ball radar. She's looking for the Dragon Balls, and it's throbbing, and Goku thinks his grandfather Gohan's spirit is in the number 4 Dragon Ball and speaking to him, and it's throbbing. And then Bulma comes and she's like, no, I just have another Dragon Ball, and they get close together. You know, they like pulse with the light. So he had the 4 Dragon Balls.
So I should get 4, and then you should get what? Which one did she have?
Which one did Bulma have?
Yeah.
Whenever she was looking? Oh, I don't remember because it was a long time ago that I watched that episode, but it may have been the number 2 or the number 5 Dragon Ball.
Apparently, a lot of people in the chat are 29 years old and are also dragons.
Yeah.
That, and I was just thinking that it would make a cool podcast or some kind of audio content to just retell Dragon Ball Z episodes.
Dragon Balls. Oh my gosh.
No, literally, you're just driving down the road and you're just listening to someone retell the story of Dragon Ball Z.
I would listen to it.
There's gotta be someone's channel on YouTube that just really shortens anime and like the significance of certain things.
I'm sure.
And they're just like boom, boom, boom. You know how they had the 1-minute movies with the bunnies.
I was telling someone we were talking about on another episode about how a lot of people pay people, like Tai Lopez pays people to read books for him. That's how he reads a book a day because they summarize it for him in like 15 minutes or whatever. So
that doesn't count.
Well, if you're extracting all the main information from it, I think it counts.
No,
I mean, not technically, you didn't read it, but you absorbed the main information or whatever. So several people that I've talked to, they hire people to consume content for them. So they have virtual assistants that their only job is to watch all the Amazon YouTube videos, listen to all the podcasts, and then once a day summarize all of that day's content on a 15-minute read for you so that you can get all the useful nuggets out of it or whatever. And someone was in my chat and they were like, I want to do that. Like, hire me. Like, how do I make money watching content and consuming content? And I was just like, I came up with a really good idea, which I'm kind of like reiterating it here because I want people to actually do it. Is so in any niche on YouTube or on the internet, there's probably way too much information to digest. Like you could spend your whole life, there's more information that comes out in a day than you can actually watch. So you could never catch up.
Ever.
So what if, for example, there was Reseller Soup where once a week you came out with a YouTube video. It was your channel. You watched everything and listened to everything. And then once a week you summarized all the useful information. So like I have no time to watch this channel and that channel and Craigslist and Side Plus Hustle Pros and like everything, right? So, but what if there was like a 15-minute video once a week you could watch that summarized all the best of all the videos that came out? I would watch that.
I would watch that.
That's a great idea.
Or and they're like, and then Ryan and Alli went to the medieval fair. Check that out. And like blah 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 blah. Wait, whatever. Like they could talk like Micro Machine level fast or whatever, but.
I think that's a great idea.
It would be very, very valuable, and people would watch it, and you're essentially just distilling other people's content. There's no like zero creative. It's like 100% value, and you could do it in any niche. Huh. So if you're watching this and you need an idea for a YouTube channel, please steal that idea and make it because I really need that summarized, that weekly briefing. You know what I mean? Because there's way too much content out there.
Callie should do that on her channel.
Oh, Callie. Everybody, tell Callie to do that.
Yeah, anybody or in any niche, whatever your niche is that like, if you're interested in something, who the people are that are making the content. So you could do that because you know about that and you could summarize it. And like the people would appreciate you, the content creators, because you'd be driving traffic to them. It wouldn't be like you were stealing their stuff. You would be giving everyone exposure. You know what I mean?
I love that idea. Gosh, that is a really good idea.
Like, I mean, even, anime, you know what I mean? You could do a once a week show about all the anime that came out in the last week and tell people to watch it, or because it's hard to be like, immersed in a certain niche, you know, like not everyone can be immersed. You can, you know, I'm immersed in this, but like I'm kind of in that, you know, but if someone who's immersed in it could like hit me with it, you know, maybe I would be able to listen to it a little bit more.
Yeah. Or someone said, these are all the really great brands that we're going to highlight this week. And they highlight all the good brands and all the like sold items. That would be really fantastic.
It'd be huge. It'd be huge. Steal that idea, please. Let's see what else we got. Reezy, Dane just says Reezy just dropped a spirit bomb. Awesome. What is something that you wish that you knew when you first started reselling that you know now that would have helped you?
When we first started reselling,
I wish we'd gotten to Amazon immediately. Immediately whenever we had first started.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I guess, diversify more. Yeah. Get into all the platforms that you can and just soak up all the knowledge that you can and go from there. When we started reselling, we just jumped into it. Like we weren't on Instagram. We weren't on YouTube. We didn't watch any reselling videos. We didn't take any courses. We just jumped into it. And we kind of learned as we went, and we failed in certain things and we succeeded in others. And we went from there. So I would say soak up as much knowledge as you can, because there's so much good knowledge out there
for free,
but go and do it, because there's a lot of people that will just soak up the knowledge and then do nothing with it. So it's important to actually go and do the knowledge and
yeah, I think one of the important things about doing it is that you're going to fail when you do it. Yeah. And then that's when you really remember stuff. Like it's easy to forget stuff that someone tells you is a tip or whatever, but when you fail, you always remember your failures, you know, because that hurts you, you know, so you remember it or whatever. And then, and even so, a little less, but when you take information and act on it and it works and you're successful, you know, you're more likely to remember that than just, you know, seeing it somewhere.
Right. And once you're successful in doing something, especially in business, you'll get confidence in knowing that even if you fail again, you can succeed again because you've been successful. That's why most millionaires have been broke before, and it's not the first time they've been millionaires. They've gone from millionaire to broke and then back to millionaire again, because they've been through failure. And I think that's an important part. Like if we lost everything tomorrow, we have the skills to build another business and go from there.
Right.
And I think that's really important to remember as well.
Yeah, you're not going to get anywhere if you don't risk. You got to take risk. I was reading, I think I posted on my Instagram, but Elon Musk, when he took all of his PayPal money, he invested all of his PayPal dividends in or stock, whatever. He owned some of PayPal, whatever, in SpaceX and Tesla, like literally everything. And when he got done, he had to borrow money to pay rent.
Yes.
Which is, a lot of people are like, oh, he couldn't just put a little bit to the side or whatever. And it's just like, he needed to do what he needed to do, you know? And so he thought that was more important. And apparently he was right.
He's crazy, man.
He's a genius. Geniuses see the value in spending the money to like better the world. I mean, he would have lived under a bridge if it would have put him ahead to change.
Have you seen the video of the autonomous rocket landing on the drone platform?
Yeah, definitely.
That is so crazy. Have you seen the animation that they've made about how they want to do commercial space flight with that, and how you're going to be able to go anywhere to anywhere in 30 minutes?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, things are crazy, man. The stuff that guy and those companies are doing is literally going to change the world. If one of the things that they're doing, I mean, they're building the underground tunnels right by you.
Oh.
Right.
Those are coming soon. Yeah, the Hyperloop's coming out, the Mars colonization, the self-driving cars. Thursday, Tesla is releasing their semi trucks, which should be self-driving. That's gonna something like 80% of goods in America are still transported by semi truck.
Right.
If he has a fleet of self-driving semi trucks, unfortunately, it's going to put a lot of people out of work.
But those people can become mechanics for those semi trucks.
Yeah, that's like the evolution of things, though, right? Like, this is the same argument that people have about like grocery checkouts, you know, like, oh, you're going to put cashiers out of business. Well, it's like, sorry, like cashiers, but you can be greater than a cashier. You know what I mean? Like, no offense, but you don't need to settle for that. There's something else you can do. You know, there's always opportunity. And not to mention that, like, I still have yet to see a store that's 100% self-checkout. You know, it seems like some people don't like going to the self-checkout.
Yeah, even the self-checkout has to have an employee, because 100% of the time when we're in self-checkout, there is an issue with somebody and the employee is helping someone. So it's there's about 8 self-checkouts and 1 employee helping everybody. So
I still want to try the Amazon store. Have you been in one of those yet?
oh my
I
God.
think it's only in Seattle. I'm not 100% sure on that.
That's cool though. You just walk in and pick something up and walk out and it charges you?
I would love to see
Yes,
that.
I think so.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is like that. Have you guys seen, I think Walmart has it now, where you can scan stuff with the Walmart app when you're in the store and buy it and pay for it from the app and then just walk out. Like, you don't have to go to the cashier.
Yeah.
I haven't done it. It seems to me like, how are people not going to be stealing stuff? Like,
I mean, going into a physical store is so old school anyway, isn't it?
right. No, it's gnarly. Like, even just even something simple like ordering your drink on Starbucks. Like, I'll order my drink in my car when I pull up, and then I'll go in and I'll go get it at the online pickup or whatever. And it will be, you know, I'll get my drink while everyone's still waiting in line. And I'm like, do you guys not know? I know you have an iPhone. Like, did you not know you could do this? Like,
the future's crazy.
Yeah, when we were in the UK, all the fast food places had probably 3 times more computers where you could order your food than going up to the person and ordering. But sometimes whenever you go to the person to order, they'll say, did you know we have this deal and it's better than what you're ordering right now and you get this and this?
so there's the value of having the human interaction.
Right.
That happened to me the other night too. I was actually out, we were eating dinner at a restaurant, and I ordered like appetizers and whatnot, and the lady was like, hey, it's like whatever deal tonight, you know, you're gonna get. She was like, do you want me to ring it up like as the deal? Because like, which to me seems like you shouldn't even ask, you know, like, because it's like this and this, get a free appetizer. So we were like, same thing, but we were saving money. And I was like, well, of course I do. And like, where do you think that money I just saved is going to go? It's going to go straight to the tip, you know?
Right.
So there's definitely always value in the human interaction of things. So humans aren't going nowhere.
Except to Mars.
Yeah. Although I feel like maybe
colonize
the younger
Mars
kids these days, they do everything online, like through their phones, and most of their interaction with their friends is through social media. So maybe they don't want the human interaction as much as we do.
Right.
And things will change for them, but they're going to grow up with everything being different anyways. But I think maybe even for our generation, I still do enjoy the human interaction.
It's still different. I think it's still human interaction, right? So people will be like, you know, Gary Vee says it all the time. Like, people are like, oh, you don't go outside no more and play with the stick. Well, like, dude, we don't need to. We have iPads. Right. And it's like, well, you don't go and play with your friends. Like, I'm talking to 32 friends right now. What are you talking about? Like,
the only thing though that is important is human touch, because that actually physical touch, human touch releases dopamine and endorphins in your body when you like get a hug or something like that.
But you can do that with your cats or your dogs. No, I'm just kidding.
I guess you can.
No, human interaction's nice. That was nice.
Yeah, see?
I liked it.
Exactly. Your mood is instantly better.
It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, that'll never go away.
Yeah, definitely not. You always going to have kids don't want, someone said in the chat, kids don't want toys, they want iPads. And then they want to go on, then they want it. But here's the thing, they don't want toys, they want iPads. But when they get the iPad, they go on YouTube and then watch people opening toys.
This is true. They do that.
People saying like kids don't want toys, they want iPads instead. You know what? If there were iPads around when you were a kid, you would probably want the iPad too, not the toy.
Right, and that's good. See, I think that's like a delicate balance. Like, I let Luna play with the iPad, but we put educational games on there. And I let her go on YouTube, but we control what she's watching. Like, I mean, not like there's any kind of restriction. I just check in on her every once in a while, you know. But
5, you should though, for sure.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But but I don't let her watch the kids' YouTube app because I think it would make her stupider. It's literally the most dumbest stuff ever on there.
Oh.
Like, we never talk to our kid like a baby or anything or whatever, but you need to use the technology to, bring your kids up instead of like, saying, oh, we don't, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, we don't let our kids use iPads. And I'm like, right, good for you. But like, you know, what do you think they're going to be using in the future? They're going to be using touch screens.
Yep.
You know, my kid's going to have an advantage over you. Or like people that are like, well, the kid's finger dexterity is lowering due to touch screens and they don't know how to they're going to have trouble handwriting. We're not going to handwrite anything, dude.
Yeah.
That's like saying cursive is important still. It's not. Like, we're not going to handwrite everything. Everything's going to be voice control and touch screens. Like, do you guys have an Alexa?
No, we should probably.
No,
dude, you got to get one. It's a game changer. I just found out that the Harmony, the universal remote control, like Logitech or whatever, they have an Alexa integrated thing that shoots out infrared controls like in all directions. So if you get that smart hub thing, then you can just say like, Alexa, turn the TV on. Alexa, turn the TV off. Alexa, switch the channel. Alexa, record this. Like, that's volume up. Like,
I want one of those Jibo things. Have you seen those ones? Those little.
Is it a robot?
Yeah, that little like robot thing that looks got like a round face thing. I think it's called a Jibo.
You showed it to me, and I kind of remember. It looks like a little trash can.
I don't know. I would totally want a robot.
I'm really bad with technology, actually. It's kind of funny. I'm a very hands-on, crafty person. So whenever it comes to integrating or like assimilating myself to anything new technology-wise, I have a really hard time with it. And in fact, even whenever I get a new phone, it will just break on me. Even Ryan's like, there's something wrong with you. I can touch a new phone and it will just stop working. There's just something wrong. It's like
we're the same way. So my wife touches it and it breaks, and then she's like, it's broken, and then I touch it and it's fixed. I didn't do anything. It just works, right? And so she's all mad at me. But just to put it in perspective, how like ubiquitous the voice control Alexa is in our house or whatever. So like when Luna gets dressed, we have one in our bedroom and in the kitchen. But when Luna gets dressed in the morning, she goes to the closet, stands on her stool. She's looking through her clothes. She leans over her shoulder and she's like, Alexa, what's the weather for today? And then based off that, she chooses if she's going to wear a dress or pants.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and she'll be like doing her homework, and then she'll be like cheating. She'll be like, Alexa, what's 5 plus 11? Like, I'm like, no. Or like, Alexa, how do you spell, like, you can say like, how do you spell this? And it will spell the word out for you, you know, like, it's intense, you know, kids. And it's just, it's the best way to control anything, you know. Think about like an interface where you don't have to tell anyone, this is how you do it, this is how you press it. You literally just say it and stuff happens, you know. Turn the lights on, turn the lights off, like whatever. It's ridiculous.
I want a future house. Let's do it.
How does that, so that's out now? You can get that now?
Yeah, so you need a couple things. So like Alexa doesn't work with everything, but there is like smart hubs that work with a lot of stuff, and then that works with Alexa. So the smart hub can control, for example, your door locks if you have the smart locks, and your they have smart light bulbs, but you should get the smart switches for your house instead of, because the light bulbs break, right, and they're expensive. So instead you replace your switches with smart switches. And then you can say, you know, you label them as rooms 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever. And then you can say, turn the lights on in the bedroom, or you can play music and it will play in every room of the house. Or you can like, you know, I can wake up and like smell bacon or whatever. And then I can say, Alexa, drop in on the kitchen. And then I can say, are you making bacon, babe? And like, she'll hear it, you know? So like voice intercom or whatever, like.
That's so funny. See, I don't need a cook. Just get an Alexa and say, Alexa, make me dinner.
Dude, in the future, we're going to have those like under cabinet cook things. Have you seen that? It's like all future concept stuff where it's like, it would probably be so expensive, at least, you know, it'll be cheap for our kids or whatever. But basically imagine like this robot with arms that goes under the cabinet, and it has a camera, and you just like put ingredients under it, and it like assesses it, and it goes, okay, here's the things we could make with those ingredients, and you pick it, and it just, the arms come down and like chop the food up and do all the cooking.
I've seen the one where you can also, or it'll be like a paid thing, and like professional chefs can put in their recipes and stuff like that. You can pay $5 to have your meal prepared the exact same way that the chef prepared it.
That's awesome.
That'll be pretty sweet. So instead of going and paying like $100 at a 5-star restaurant,
that would be amazing.
Yeah, I've thought about that because my wife does a lot of cooking and I'm not a cook, and it takes a lot of time and we're super busy. So I'm like, man, I want to have like hire a chef, not to cook for us every day, but like maybe to come over once a week and do meal prep. to make it easier. Like maybe they come and they do like design a menu for like once a month, and then once a week come over and do meal prep which would accelerate cooking like a million times.
Right.
Megan, someone in the chat, Megan Flavius says, my daughter was in shock that I didn't have an iPad growing up. She thought I was joking and she felt really bad for me.
That's so funny. Someone said 3D printed meals, and I was like, yes, that would be amazing. Then we would have so much more time to make money.
I'm all for I'm all
man.
for future advancements. I think it's important. It's cool.
Yeah, no, I just can't wait till the robots do everything for us, to where, like, you know how everyone's like, well, you're taking jobs. Like, well, I like to take the more optimistic viewpoint of that, is like, yeah, you're taking the jobs, but imagine what we can do with our free time now, you know? Like, imagine if like we didn't have to cook, or we didn't have to clean, we didn't have to build houses, we didn't have to do any of that stuff. It just did it all for us. You could spend all of your time,
if
like,
I had more free time, I would
like
go to
Elon
the Humane
Musk.
Society and volunteer. That's what I would do. That's the first thing I would do.
Save the puppies.
I would go to the Humane Society in my self-driving car. What you do at the Humane Society is you just go in the crates and you pet the dogs and you just give them love. And
it's not going to be your self-driving car, though. It's going to be the Uber that you requested. It's just going to show up.
Which is great.
I'm fine with that too. And then I could give the puppies all the treats, because I would totally bring lots of treats for the puppies. And then I could have my self-driving car take me home and make money.
Awesome.
True,
it's so awesome.
That's coming soon. At least we will see fully autonomous cars in our lifetime. Which
yeah, definitely. Someone said, do you know what Soylent is, Ryan?
Soylent, like Soylent Green? The movie?
No, Soylent. It's like this meal replacement stuff. It's like supposedly, you know what I'm talking about?
I do. It's funny. It's funny that they named it Soylent, though. Because did you ever see the movie Soylent Green?
I did not.
I think it was a book. Yeah. They turned people into food.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. And it was like, once you get past a certain age in the society, they take old people and turn them into food for the younger people. That was Soylent Green. It's funny that they call the company that. But yeah, no, I'm familiar with it. They make like there's like a breakfast one that's a meal replacement or whatever.
Have you tried it?
I've never tried it. No.
Sounds like a good YouTube video.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've seen Nicole post about it. I think she's tried it before.
So, I'll have to ask her if that's the case. I think it probably tastes disgusting. No?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's supposed to be like an actual, like, full meal replacement, though, like all your nutrients and everything in it. So I don't know.
like it's actually healthy for you to eat it, right?
Yeah.
Like a protein shake?
It's the same as eating a meal. No, not like a protein shake. Like everything.
Like a scientifically calculated liquid meal nugget.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're so busy and we're out and about. I would love if I just give me a bottle. It can be an entire meal. I can just chug it and then keep going, because I just want to keep like working or doing what I need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you have to stop and make food, you're going to be so, like, sometimes I don't even want to eat because I know that I'm going to get tired from eating, and then like the break to eat is going to distract me from like being in the zone. But like if you have to cook it, it's even worse, right? Like,
yeah.
Good luck. You know, if you're pulling an 8-hour shift and you're trying to pull a 12-hour shift and you got to stop and eat, like, I don't care how hard you say, like, okay, I'm going to make dinner and I'm going to eat it, then I'm going to pull another 4 hours. Like, you're severely decreasing the likeliness of that when you stop to make dinner and eat it.
I agree. Sometimes when you're in the zone, you're in the zone and you just don't want to get out of the zone. Or like if I'm crafting, I do not want to stop and eat. If my stomach's growling, I'm just like, oh, I'm so hungry, but I just want to keep crafting, because you just want to do what you're doing.
I'll work until I get like super hyperglycemic to where like I feel like tingly.
Yes.
So let's go into some more resell talk, because we went all crazy off the topics. Is there a topic? I guess there's not. We just talk about whatever we want. So who are some of your guys' favorite resellers or people that you can learn from?
That guy Reezy Resells is pretty good.
I like him. He seems nice. There's a lot of amazing
honestly, I would say it depends on what avenue of reselling you want to get into. There's a lot of people out there that specifically do eBay, specifically do Amazon, specifically do private label Amazon stuff. So I
guess if you want to learn about something particular, like if you want to do Amazon FBA private label. You should watch someone who specializes in that and who doesn't dabble in that. And I think it would be really good if you want to do something to just find the person who that's the one thing they do, that's what they specialize in, that's what they're obsessed with, and that's the only information they put out about that, which that would mean nobody would want to watch us because we kind of do a little bit of everything. We're jack of all trades, but I would recommend watching the master of one.
See, that's the thing is like, I don't know. I guess there's some people that are like out there to they have, I don't know. It's hard. Sometimes I try to judge like what I should do based on what I like. And like, that's not really a good strategy because it doesn't always work. People aren't crazy like me. Like, you know, I like watching your guys' vlogs or your medieval fair or like that kind of stuff, you know, but like other people don't. They just want the dry information and the tips or whatever. And for me, I don't know, maybe it's because I've been in the game longer. Like I know like all that stuff is like super easy to learn and figure out. And it's like all like I'd rather just do something and not know. And then like, oh, I hit a brick wall. Let me Google it real quick. Okay. I figured that out 30 seconds later and then get back on the track, you know? So for me, like watching a video is pretty much, I think it's an inefficient way to learn something like for a lot of stuff. Like for, if you want to see like hands-on how to do something, that's one thing. But just to absorb information, you know, I'd rather read it. It's much faster for me.
Well, the easiest way to learn something is to do it as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it, go and try to do it, and then when you fail at one point, then look up the answer to your failure and go from there. Fix that issue, and then go back out and do it again until you hit another stumbling block. Because listen, just because we do something one way, that doesn't mean that that is the one and only way to do that.
And it's not the best way either.
It could, you probably have your own way of doing that thing, or you may have a better way of doing it than us. So okay, it's good to know what we're doing, but just because we do it that way doesn't mean that you can't do something another way.
Yeah, it sounds like the way that I follow instructions when I put things together. I don't look at them at all. I just start putting it together. And then if I have a problem, I'll go back to the instructions.
Right.
Then I'll fix that problem, and I'll just keep going again. And if I have another problem, I'll go back to the instructions.
Yeah.
If I didn't throw them away.
And then the reverse is true though, because that being said, there are also certain things that you can do to achieve certain results, right? So that's why we do show what we do or how we've done it, because we've done things a certain way, and the result that we've achieved is we have a business doing 6 figures plus online, right? So if you do these things, you can also achieve the same results, but you can change stuff along the way if you want to.
Definitely.
Learning.
Everyone, not everyone's the same. Not everyone wants, some people are happy making $40,000 a year. Some people want 50, 75, 100, 200. Some people just want to make enough money so they can go on vacation. Some people just want to hug puppies, you know? So
hug puppies.
Alli wants to hug puppies. So everybody has different wants. That's what I like to just, because I don't really do too much like of the spoon feeding type stuff. I'd rather like, I just want people to know that it's real, like, and the opportunity is out there. If you're not happy with what you do, there is a bunch of ways you can make money to, you know, satiate the financial need that you have. And even if it's only just to free up some of your time, and then you can use that time that you got back to do anything, you know, like the sky's the limit with the options that we have. And then I can show you not like exactly how to do it, but I can give you tips on like, hey, well, you need to be doing this on social media or doing this, or, you know, it's just like, that's fun for me. You know, it's not so fun for me to be like, okay, guys, grab this, put a sticker on it, scan it. Not to mention that like a lot of the times, if you were to show people the exact process, like I might have to make that video again in like 2 months because the eBay or the Amazon system changed, and that button I told you to click on is no longer there anymore, you know. Or I would much rather teach people that would be, you know, you figure it out on your own and you don't have to worry about where that button is, you know what the point is.
I was just reading the chat and someone said, oh, Toronto Greenhouse, I could totally get into the puppy and kitten hugging business, right?
Hey, that's a thing. There's those cat cafes.
Oh, in Japan.
Yeah, they have them in California.
What is a cat cafe?
I think there's two in California right now.
It should be called a cat fe also. But what is it?
You pay a cover and you go into a coffee shop that's full of cats.
Oh my God. It sounds like a freaking sneeze fest.
Dude, they're huge in Japan. They're huge. They're all over the place. They're like Starbucks.
That's the weirdest thing ever. The closest thing I can say to that is I ate at a place recently when we went to the NorCal reseller thing. It was like I forget what it's called, but it's like their whole thing with their restaurant is that you can bring your pets or at least bring your dog or something. I forget what it's called. It's a chain, but they have like an outside area that's made for like bringing your dogs with you.
That's
so
cool.
like you're walking up and I'm like, wow, there's like an abnormal amount of, I didn't know it was like a bring your dog type place. And I was like, wow, there's like 40 people outside with dogs while they're eating. Like, what is going on? Posh Hanger says she wants to hug puppies also.
I need to go and get Lychee because she's crying.
She is crying.
She's very upset right now.
Dogs are locked up. You want to go?
That's your dog?
Yeah. Lychee and Mochi.
Lychee and Mochi. Mochi is isn't that like Japanese ice cream type stuff?
Yeah, it's like a rice dessert. We name our dogs after Japanese food. Lychee is also a fruit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Before we wrap it up, because we're approaching the 2-hour-ville, which is like I can't even believe 2 hours. It goes by really fast.
Yeah, 11. It's bedtime.
Yeah, no, it's late for you guys. It's 11 o'clock, yeah?
Yeah.
Jesus. What time do you wake up usually?
Like 8:30. Right. I like to sleep. I don't wake up. I'm not a wake up at 5 a.m. There's actually a lot of studies done around sleep. Like you should be sleeping more than you think.
Good.
You know what I mean? The gurus that wake up at get 2 hours of sleep, it's not healthy.
Yeah.
I like the interview with Jeff Bezos. Did you see that? His daily routine?
What's his daily routine?
He doesn't have an alarm clock. He wakes. He only goes by his internal alarm clock. He says he gets at least 8 hours of sleep a night. And my favorite thing was he's got this thing called a 2 pizza meeting rule. He'll only have a meeting if there's a small enough group of people that 2 pizzas can feed. So he only has small meetings. He does not
anything bigger than that. It's like a small conference.
Yeah. And I mean, he does all of his family time in the morning, so he doesn't even start working until like later on in the day. And he's the richest guy in the world.
Some of that's got to work.
Yeah.
Definitely. No, I was for the longest time, I was going to bed at 2 a.m. and then waking up at 7 a.m. So I was getting 5 hours. It was like 3 months straight. I was getting 5 hours of sleep a night. But I was feeling great. Like I'd wake up at 7, like I would like backflip out of bed. Right. And so I felt like, I was like, maybe I should get more sleep. But at the same time, physically, I felt great. And so I was like, how could that possibly, like just go by your body. If you feel great, you're great,
It's true, but there's certain things that happen to your body while you're asleep that only happen while you're asleep. So your brain releases or gets rid of toxins while you're asleep, and it literally only happens when you're asleep. So
I think that there's a pouch, and there's a lot of toxins that they stay in like this pouch that's around your cerebral cortex, and whenever you're sleeping, they drain through one of your thyroids. Something like that. This is probably all wrong things that I'm saying. But anyways, there's toxins that hang out in your brain area. And while you're sleeping, they drain through other parts of your body. And that's why whenever you stay awake for a long period of time, you get the brain fog is because there's literally toxins poisoning your brain.
Dr. Alli.
Yeah,
Dr. Alli.
I feel like the brain fog starts to affect my vision too. When I get super tired, I'm like, what the hell does that say? Like, I can't even really see it.
Yeah, it's science. It's just science. And it inhibits your ability to reason and logic, motor function skills, everything that you can do whenever you've gotten a proper night's sleep, it affects. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was I went to London, and the time change is like 8 hours difference. And ever since I came back from London, I can't get back to my 5-hour sleep cycles. I'm at like a solid 7 or 8. That's it. I can't fix it. I get up after like 7 or 8 hours of sleep, and I'm like, I don't want to get up, but I do.
Yeah. Someone said the lymph system. Yeah, it's the lymph nodes.
So someone goes, Gary V is going to Australia and only has 2 hours scheduled for sleep. Gary V is a different type of human. I would honestly, though, I wouldn't be surprised if Gary V is taking some sort of crazy drug or vitamin or something. some brain hack vitamin.
I never watched him. I need to watch
Some
him.
startup.
Yeah, who knows? There's a lot of entrepreneurs taking some stuff.
Oh yeah,
I started to learn that now that, you know, I've met, I'm not saying Gary Vee is taking drugs or anything, but you know, I've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs and I become a lot of friends with a lot of them. And then like, you know, sometimes I'm just like really amazed at people's productivity and I'm like, dude, you're like a fucking beast. And then
Yeah.
later
that's
down
what
the road,
happens.
you know, it
Popping
comes
Adderall
out
all day.
that they're taking Adderall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you cheating ass son of a bitch.
Yes. I never ever took Adderall in college, and everyone else that was taking Adderall, I was like, oh, that's cheating. But I mean, I guess it's not.
Yeah, who knows? But I mean, if you get it
I've never
prescribed, I
taken
guess
it.
you're technically not cheating, but I don't believe in all that mumbo jumbo. So
I've heard it's great. I've never taken it.
I have ADD. It's
yeah, me too.
not
I also am
significantly
very
terrible.
addictive. So if I took that stuff, I wouldn't stop taking it for a long time.
Yeah.
So
I
not a
literally
good
had the
idea for me
nickname.
to
Yeah.
take drugs. That's the old Reezy.
Yeah, I had a nickname. It was ADD Alli. That's how bad it was. But I never wanted to go and get diagnosed with it because I didn't want it to be written down anywhere that I have ADD. But I guess you could hang out with me for more than 5 minutes and be like, "Oh my god, you totally have ADD."
What are you like, squirrel? Huh?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Poor Ryan, he has to live with me. For me, I'm always entertained, but I mean, usually my friends have told me whenever I've asked them in the past, like, do I ever have a full train of thought? And they're like, usually 50% of the time, halfway through a sentence, you'll just go a totally different direction. But I mean, I can usually keep up with it. So yeah, I don't know.
Toronto
Can't even have a
Greenhouse
normal
says they're powered
conversation.
by chocolate. I love
Powered by
chocolate. Ryan 19 Cells says, Ryan, leave some stuff for me at Salvation Army tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right?
Today's
No,
Monday.
tomorrow's Tuesday.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I'm already foggy. Tomorrow's Tuesday. We won't be at Salvation Army tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow.
You better get it, 19 Cells. Is that one of your local competitions?
I don't know. I guess so.
That's funny. It's not known. That's crazy. I got a couple local people that are resellers that I think I might even spurned one of them onto reselling, and it's like we're like friends, but we're also mortal enemies.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
One question that I ask everybody is, who would you like to see me interview on the show?
Ooh.
Oh man, I gotta watch more of your show to know who you haven't interviewed and who you have, and then
Well,
I
since
have
I
to watch
started
the
doing the
resellers.
interviews, you guys are the 7th, so I did 29 episodes by myself somehow.
Oh, right, when it was the money.
So yeah, 30, and I changed it to Reezy Talks because Money Talks is trademarked. So then onward, I still have to go back and edit my titles. I've been lazy, but so yeah, so you guys are the 7th interviewed person
Monica.
on Reezy Talks. I already did Monica.
Yeah,
She was
you
the
already did
first
Monica.
person.
What? She was the first?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
she-
go back
she
and
was-
watch it.
She was number
Big-
30, so I did
big event.
Monica. I did Nicole. I did Chris Green. You guys. 2 private label Amazon sellers and another private label seller that a New Jersey dude that's getting into merch, and they have like their own brand, Merch Empire.
Yes. Yeah.
That also has the most cuss words of any episode I've ever done.
Oh, I'd enjoy that episode.
I haven't seen that one.
We don't cuss on our channel because it'll get demonetized, and I don't want to offend anyone. And also, I know that parents watch with their children, and I don't want them to not be able to watch with their children.
Sometimes
right.
we do keep it out.
I cuss on my live shows, but not in my vlogs.
Right.
And if I do cuss in my vlog, I like beep it out. So if you're watching one of my vlogs and there's cussing that's not beeped out, I totally just missed it.
Yeah.
But I
Nice.
try to tune it out.
Chaz and Trista would be pretty cool to have on the show.
Jazz
Sorry.
and Trista, who's that?
Chaz and
Chaz.
Trista? Yeah.
Side
Side
Hustle
Hustle.
Pros.
I just
Awesome.
want to hang out with them, like hang out together. All of us, we can go.
We got to go on the cruise.
Yeah.
I know.
cruise.
They told us they went on the
Doesn't he do
cruise
like a
and
yearly cruise?
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been there.
I
Because
know.
I would have embarrassed everyone with how much I eat.
Yeah, I would like to do something like that too, but I'm not so sure. I don't want to go like for me, right? I want to get some value out of it too. I don't want to go for like a reselling type thing. You know what I mean? Like if I was to host a cruise and then it's a reselling thing and I'm there, I'm giving information for reselling or whatever, like that's one thing, but like for us, you know what I mean? Like something different, like bigger than that, you know, like what are we doing long term? Like not, you know, how do I sell shoes on eBay or you know what I mean? Like we could talk like long-term social media goals and strategies, that type of stuff.
Right. That'd be cool.
That would be killer. I gotta make it out to Florida too. I think I'm jonesing for Disney World. So do you guys live near Disney World?
A lot of people say Disney World is better than Disneyland just because it's newer and it's larger. And
I've never been, but obviously it's bigger and like, you know, they made all their mistakes at Disneyland. So
they did. That was actually the whole point of Disney World.
I've been to both. I lived out in California for a year. Disney World is 10 times better than Disneyland. Sorry, Disneyland.
They've connected it. They've made it an empire. Well, no, nothing against
But Disneyland is the OG.
Walt designed it as his vision. I mean, he literally connected all the hotels through the monorail system together.
Are you guys Disney nerds like me?
No, probably not as big. Are we Disney nerds? Not really. I mean, more so now because
you get sick of it
because of Star Wars and Marvel.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
But generally Walt is like an admirable person from an entrepreneur perspective.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I know his story and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Seriously, suitcase in a dream. When he moved to California, he didn't have nothing, and he came up with the idea for Mortimer Mouse, you know, on the train.
Right.
Have you seen any of the Walt Disney documentaries?
No.
There's actually a couple, like PBS, I think, did one. It was really good.
Cool.
Dog.
Yeah, you should check it out. Anyways, guys, I think that's what we're gonna wrap it up. Before we go, I like to let the guests ask the audience a question. So anything that you guys would like to ask the audience, you can ask a question. You can ask for feedback for your channel or for anything, and you'll probably get, you know, 10 or 20 replies in the comments, and you can go in there and engage.
I have one. All right, let's do this. Let's do this one. So we're planning next year. We're planning on traveling a lot around America. Where should we go?
Oh,
where should we go? We're going to be doing international traveling as well, but we're planning on trying to do at least a few city stops in America, and we're going to hit thrift stores along the whole way. So what cities should we hit? Would be
That's awesome. Are you gonna mail the stuff back to your house or
back to Cali, back to the warehouse?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cali.
There you go. That's so awesome. Back to Cali in Florida, not Cali, Cali, Florida.
Cali in Florida.
It's not totally confusing
awesome.
at all.
Just recently, did you guys see the Southwest Companion Pass deal? Or I guess it's only for California people. My bad.
No.
Sorry. So you know how Southwest has the Companion Pass, where it's like if you fly 100,000 miles with Southwest or a certain amount of money spent, you can get a Companion Pass. Well, they just opened it up to Californians, where all you have to do is apply for the Southwest Chase card and get it and buy one flight, and then you get a Companion Pass for a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's super cool.
So I was just thinking that, I don't know if you guys there's another way you can get it without being a California resident, but that would be super ideal for you guys as because you guys are companions.
Yeah, because we're companions.
That's a great idea. I'll look into that for sure.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me for the show. I'm sorry that I dragged you on past your bedtime, Ryan.
Oh, you're cool. No worries. I'm probably still gonna go edit some videos before we get to bed.
Oh man, I'm probably gonna eat and then go to bed.
I'm gonna go download Dragon Ball Z Super.
Yeah,
I'm watching Dragon Ball tonight.
There's sites you can stream it on. Stream it online.
Is it on Netflix?
No, it's not on Netflix.
Of course not. And it's not on Crunchyroll either, which is the main node.
Here, hold on. Let me pull
I guess I'm just going to have to go to Pirate Bay then.
Pirate Bay.
There is one.
watch-db1.funonline.co.
We'll send you a link.
We'll send you the link.
Dude, text me a link. I'm going to Chromecast it to the TV.
You'll like it, man. It's really good.
For this whole time, I thought it was like a rehash, like whatever the last thing they did, which was just like shortened version.
Yeah, yeah,
What was the
yeah.
last
Oh,
one
you gotta
called?
watch Dragon
Kai,
Ball.
Dragon Ball Z
though.
Kai or whatever, the original.
Yeah, yeah. So that made me think this one was one of those or whatever. So I'm gonna watch Dragon Ball Super. Can't wait to
Yeah.
see it.
Right, there's GT, Kai, and Super.
Yeah,
The
yeah. I've seen all of them except for
regular.
Kai because I saw the originals and I need to
Yeah.
watch
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you
Well-
guys for joining me. I was super fun having you guys on, and can't wait to see more awesome content from you guys. Keep it
Yeah.
up.
Yay!
Thank you for having us, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
it's
it.
been awesome.
And
This
thanks
is fun.
everybody who stuck around and watched the whole show.
Yeah, thank you guys. Smash the like button on your way out, and we'll see you guys on next Monday's show. You know what we say around here, Ryan, right?
What's that?
If you ain't flipping.
You slipping.
I love your shirt.
Awesome. Peace out, guys. Thank you for joining
See you
us.
guys.